the door, I'm home at last, and I'm soaking through and through. And then you handed me a towel, and all I see is you. And even if my house falls down now, I wouldn't have a clue, because you're near me.
This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester. Transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024. Donald J. Trump has been elected the 47th President of the United States. Now, Works Minister says it's too early to assess the cost of damage caused by Tropical Storm Raphael. Assessment to see whether emergency shelters need to remain open set for today. In regional news, Grenada Prime Minister rejects allegations of excessive taxpayer-funded trips. In international news, Netanyahu and Starmer lead congratulations to Trump. In sports, the West Indies and England are set to meet in the third and final game of their three-match one-day international series today. And in business, the U.S. dollar surges with news of Donald Trump's win. The details after the break.
Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay is back Sunday, November 10, 6 a.m. New venue, Emancipation Park. Register with your school, alma mater, or companies to win a share of over $1 million. Past students, run, walk, or crawl, but finish the race for the BK Big Finish Prize. Register now at www.runningeventsja.com. Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay. Sponsored by Rainforest, Soccer Express, Burger King, developing schools and communities through sports.
Catch the first news of the day, a comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Donald Trump has been elected the 47th President of the United States. With a win in Wisconsin, Trump cleared the 270 electoral votes needed to clinch the presidency. His path to victory was also carved by wins in the swing states of North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. The win caps a historically tumultuous campaign that included 2 assassination attempts. Trump is the first person since Grover Cleveland in 1893 to win non-consecutive presidential terms. Hailing a magnificent victory, the Republican told a jubilant crowd in Florida, "America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate." Beaten Democratic candidate Kamala Harris is yet to concede or address supporters. Back locally, the Met Service has extended its flash flood warning for low-lying and flood-prone areas of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Thomas. A flash flood warning means flooding has been reported or will occur shortly. Meanwhile, a flash flood watch has been extended for Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary and Portland. A flash flood watch means flooding is possible and that residents should take precautions. The Met Service says the advisories will remain in effect until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. It says up to 5 inches of rainfall has been reported over sections of some southern parishes, resulting in flooding. Jamaicans should expect additional periods of moderate to heavy rainfall, measuring up to 6 inches in some places. It says landslides should also be anticipated in hilly areas. Small craft operators are being reminded to remain in safe harbor until wind and sea conditions have returned to normal. The Education Ministry says, where possible, schools should reopen for face-to-face classes today, Wednesday, November 6. In a statement on Tuesday, Portfolio Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the decision comes after careful assessment of the current weather conditions affecting the island. Parents and guardians are encouraged to contact their school leadership for updates on the reopening of their children's institution. Minister Morris-Dixon says schools have been instructed to activate their communication channels with key stakeholders to facilitate informed decision-making and timely dissemination of information. She says in areas where returning to face-to-face classes is unsafe, remote learning should continue through virtual platforms, televised lessons, computer-aided programs, learning kits, assigned tasks from textbooks and workbooks, worksheets, and other available modalities. Meanwhile, Dr. Morris-Dixon says all government offices will reopen for business today.
Based on consultations with the Meteorological Service of Jamaica and the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Government of Jamaica offices will reopen tomorrow, Wednesday, November 6, 2024. The Government of Jamaica extends its sincere gratitude to all essential workers who demonstrated unwavering dedication in maintaining critical public services throughout today's inclement weather.
She says public sector employees having difficulties getting to work should contact their supervisor.
The Met Office has indicated that intermittent heavy rains will continue throughout the night, and this may result in challenges for some of our public sector employees to get to work tomorrow morning. We therefore urge any of our public sector employees who are having any difficulty getting to work to please communicate with their supervisors or the head of their entities as soon as they can do so. We're going to be in a mode of flexibility tomorrow because we understand the challenges that some of our employees will have. And so directives will be given to allow for that flexibility and not to charge the leave balances as a result of someone missing work tomorrow.
Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Information and Education Minister. Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, says it's too early to determine the cost of the damage caused by Tropical Storm Raphael will be. He provided the update on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
We've had challenges over the last 2 to 3 months with the rainfall. We would have loved to have been much further out, but we've had unprecedented rain over the last 3 months. This is another setback, but we are very committed. The patching is not just for this year. The program continues all the way up to March next year. So we'll have an opportunity to repair some of the damage that has been caused by this system as well. And we have another program called Spark coming up that will also fix a lot of the roads that may be damaged by this system. The determination of the cost of the damage will be made in the coming days, and I'm sure the Prime Minister will update the nation when the National Welfare Agency and the other agencies come to the table with the full cost of the damage that we've suffered.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has ordered preliminary damage assessments across the country following intense rainfall, flooding, and strong winds associated with what is now Hurricane Raphael. The National Works Agency, NWA, will be spearheading the assessments. The NWA will be deploying teams and resources to clear blocked routes and restore access to critical areas across the affected parishes today. Minister Morgan says among the areas to be assessed is the collapsed roadway through the community of Mount Prospect in West Rural St. Andrew.
The MP has said that he will be working to create an alternate route. We are going to be ensuring that that happens because that's important. I have already instructed the National Works Agency to give me an assessment of what is the solution. This one is very significant. It has taken off an entire piece of the hillside. We're going to have to do an assessment as to what is the solution. It may not be building back the road right there. It may be finding another means of doing it. I do not know. But we're working with the Member of Parliament, and the NWA has been instructed to give us a proper assessment as to what we can do to assist the people immediately and also in the long term.
Robert Morgan, Minister with responsibility for Works. Meanwhile, the Works Minister says the Wholeness Administration will find the resources to assist those who have suffered losses due to the recent weather event.
The government will do what it can for the people to the best of its ability. Negril was a really bad hit on us as a country. We've had to spend over $1 billion repairing schools. We're now up to about $4 billion budgeted for roads. And the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has had to also spend a lot of money to assist people in southern Clarendon, southern St. Elizabeth and several other places. We are a government that cares, and we're going to do what we need to do to make sure our people are okay. The government has managed the fiscal space very well, which is why we're able to do all of these things without having to go to the market to borrow money. That management continues, and I'm sure the Prime Minister will give the country a full understanding of how we're going to assist those who have been damaged, or we will assist those who have been damaged. I'm not really thinking about the fiscal space currently. I'm thinking about people's safety and the ability of people to carry on their lives and to protect their property.
Robert Morgan, Minister with responsibility for Works. Approximately 70 of the National Water Commission's supply systems were affected by the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. The NWC's Corporate Public Relations Manager, Delana Williams, provided the update on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
Overall, 70 systems impacted. This is a far less number from Negril, which was over 300 systems. Secondly, most of these are impacted by the rainfall itself, flooding of the intake, as we call it, which is really the source. And so we are now having to do the remedial work in terms of clearing those intake which could have been blocked by silt or debris, sanitizing those facilities and then restarting. But all of this is dependent on how quickly the rain stops and we can safely access the facilities.
Williams says the affected systems are being impacted by mainly high turbidity levels, landslides, and flooding.
Between Kingston and St. Andrew, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, reporting the brunt of the systems that are out currently for us. And a lot of those are what we call surface systems, meaning they are either rivers or small streams.
So it would be because of the flooding?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of issues right now with power supply. Most of our systems are in fact coming from high turbidity, flooding, siltation, debris impacting our facilities.
Delana Williams, Acting Corporate Public Relations Manager at the National Water Commission, NWC. Meanwhile, Mr. Williams says the NWC is looking to truck water to residents in affected communities.
But it will again come down to where the needs are, how easily we can access those. What we are encouraging customers is see how best you can conserve over the next 24 hours from what you already have in storage. We are taking all the requests as quickly as possible so we can plan those routes and commence the trucking as quickly and as safely as possible.
Delana Williams, the NWC's Acting Corporate Public Relations Manager. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says an assessment will be done to see whether emergency shelters need to remain open to accommodate people affected by Tropical Storm Raphael.
Overall, I think of the shelters, we had about 32 people right across where the shelters were open. I can't be specific in terms of numbers, but I do know in St. Elizabeth, the municipal corporation has been working with the Member of Parliament to find some alternative solutions for persons who had to evacuate their homes. But we have not had a lot of persons gravitating to shelters this time around. But the shelters will still be activated. We are not going to reduce the activities within our shelters, and as it relates to the various parishes, we will keep that up. And then tomorrow we will make an assessment to see whether or not we should continue or we should scale down.
Desmond McKenzie, Local Government Minister. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, says the country's 4 major utility providers have activated their disaster preparedness protocols in response to the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. Public education specialist at the OUR, Elizabeth Bennett March, says the utility providers are expected to provide regular updates on the storm's impact and their ongoing restoration efforts.
At a meeting on November 5, the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited indicated that it has activated its Incident Command Center and will report daily to the OUR and the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport on the status of the system and their restoration efforts. Telecommunications providers Flow and Digicel have also indicated that they have activated their business continuity teams and have put mitigation measures in place. And the National Water Commission has shared its initiatives to keep its customers and the public advised of how its system is being affected by the adverse weather and the mitigation steps it has taken so far.
Elizabeth Bennett March, a public education specialist at the OUR. The Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, says the stash of weapons and tactical gear found in the possession of a JDF private were not issued by the Defense Force. On Sunday, the JDF private was arrested at a vehicular checkpoint at the Cannonball Gate at Up Park Camp in St. Andrew. During a search of the trunk of his vehicle, a team from the force found a JDF-issued Bergen kit bag. Several firearms, ammunition, and paraphernalia were found during the check. These include a Browning 9mm pistol, a Smith & Wesson firearm, several magazines containing 9mm rounds, a taser, blank and live rounds, and an imitation toy pistol. The bag also contained a combat knife, handcuffs, pepper spray, binoculars, infrared laser, rifle scope, a pistol holster, red dot optic sights, gloves, and a laser flashlight. In an update on Tuesday, the JDF says the seized items were JDF says it has engaged the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF to facilitate an investigation. The soldier remains in custody at the JDF's headquarters. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica and the Concert Chorale of Harlem present Éclat Opéra, a breathtaking evening of arias, classics, spirituals, and jazz at the Little Theatre. 2 shows, November 16 and 17. Tickets at Monarch Pharmacy, Sovereign and Barbican, Fontana, Waterloo, Music Mart, and online at Eventbrite. The Philharmonic Orchestra of Jamaica and the Concert Chorale of Harlem in concert November 16 and 17 at the Little Theatre. Main sponsors, the Jamaica Tourist Board and the Chase Fund. Details available on Facebook and the press.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, Grenadian Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has denied claims that his government is engaging in significant travel paid for by the state. The Prime Minister insists that with the exception of organizations which Grenada has an obligation to attend, the travel expenses of all government ministers are covered by the entity extending the invitation. According to the official gazette, the number of times the acting Prime Minister held office during Mitchell's absence from the country was 36 times for the period July 1, 2022 to October 31, 2024. Opposition parliamentarians have filed questions in Parliament seeking a breakdown of government's travel. The answers are yet to be provided. In international news now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the UK's Keir Starmer are among the first world leaders to congratulate Donald Trump on winning the U.S. presidential election. The election of a new president is not just a big deal for the U.S. A new leader in the White House can transform the country's foreign policy and its position towards its friends and foes internationally. In his statement, Netanyahu, who has had a difficult relationship with President Joe Biden, spoke of history's greatest comeback. He adds that Trump's return to office offered a new beginning for America, a powerful recommitment to the great alliance between Israel and America. Senior Hamas official Sami Abu Zuri says Trump will be tested on his statements that he can stop the war within hours as U.S. president. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer says he looks forward to working with Trump in the years ahead. He adds that the UK-US special relationship will continue to prosper on both sides of the Atlantic, from growth and security to innovation and tech. And Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, a close Trump ally, says his election win is a much-needed victory for the world. In a post on X, Orban calls it the biggest comeback in U.S. political history. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
When Sagicor Bank thinks of a woman, here's what we see. We see business leaders managing sole trader businesses to large corporations. We see university graduates as our women uplift themselves academically. We see more home owners, ambitious women working hard to build their own legacy. We see leadership at home, with women proudly providing for and taking care of their families. We see entrepreneurs, Jamaican women playing a leading role in our economic growth. At Sagicor Bank, we see the invaluable contribution of women in the home, communities, businesses, and development of our country. That's why we're in their corner, supporting Jamaica's women as they strive to achieve their dreams.
So you want to live, I walk and look over your shoulder, no sleep at night. I wonder if your family safe, your mother, your brother, your sister, your youth them. And when you get catch, are you alone? But not there to help you. You have to talk for yourself a court. And then when you're gone behind the bars, them see them on their road, I live them life and I enjoy life. Gang violence no make no sense. Leave gang violence alone. Let's work together and make Jamaica a safer and peaceful country. Let's all live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Time now for your morning sports. The West Indies and England will meet on Wednesday in the third and final game of their three-match one-day international series at the Kensington Oval in Bridgetown, Barbados, starting at 1 p.m. Jamaica time. It's all to play for after the teams split the first two games. The West Indies won the first comfortably by 8 wickets before England hit back in the second game to win by 5 wickets. The stage is now set for the decider, with Cricket West Indies reducing the cost of admission to the game to encourage support for the home team. The quarterfinals of the Issa Manning and the Costa Cups are scheduled to kick off on Friday. The quarterfinals in both competitions was scheduled to get underway today, but Issa pushed it back a day due to the adverse weather conditions affecting the island. Only one game will be played in the Da Costa Cup on Friday, Monroe College hosting Oterias High at Monroe in a Group B game starting at 3 p.m. In the Manning Cup, 4 games will be played on Friday. Champions Mona tackle Jamaica College in the first game of a Stadium East doubleheader at 2 p.m. before Tivoli Gardens take on Kingston College at 4. In the other 2 games, Excelsior and Hydel meet at Jamaica College at 3 p.m., while St. Catherine and Campion battle at Prison Oval also at 3 p.m. The big showdown at the San Siro in Milan, featuring Inter Milan against Arsenal, takes the spotlight on another loaded day of European Champions League action on Wednesday. Arsenal will be without midfielder Declan Rice, who picked up a foot injury in training and didn't travel with the team to Italy. However, it could also mark the return of captain Martin Odegaard, who has been out for 2 months with an ankle injury. In other games, Reggae boy Leon Bailey and his Aston Villa team are in Belgium to face Club Brugge. Paris Saint-Germain will welcome the visit of Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich at home to Benfica, and Sparta Prague against Brest. Finally, in your morning sports, former world number 1 Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the ATP finals due to an unspecified injury marking the end of his 2024 season. Djokovic pulling out means that for the first time since 2001, there will be no member of the Big Three. No Djokovic, Raphael Nadal, and Roger Federer present at the ATP finals. Djokovic's withdrawal guaranteed the inclusion in the 8-man tournament of Alex de Minaur, Andrei Rublev, and Casper Ruud, who otherwise would have had to battle it out in the 3-way scrap for the final places. Despite qualifying for the event, which begins in turn on Sunday, the 37-year-old has stressed that his priorities are the Grand Slam tournaments and the Davis Cup at this point in his career. He has not competed since losing against Jannik Sinner in the final of the Shanghai Masters last month. Earlier this year, Djokovic won the only major title that was eluding him. He produced an incredible performance to defeat Carlos Alcaraz to win his first Olympic gold medal in Paris. And that's it for your morning sports.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
In business this morning, the BBC is reporting that the US dollar has surged as news emerges that Donald Trump has won the presidency and will re-enter the White House. Bitcoin has also hit a record high while traders bet on potential tax cuts, increased tariffs, and rising inflation under Trump's second term. This election result will have a major impact on the global economy. The Republican Party is also set to take control of the Senate, although there are still votes left to count. The dollar has soared by about 1.5% against a host of different currencies, including the pound, euro, and Japanese yen. In Japan, the benchmark Nikkei 225 stock index ended the session up by 2.6%, while Australia's ASX 200 closed 0.8% higher. The major U.S. stock indexes also looked likely to open sharply higher. That came after the Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500, and Nasdaq also closed more than 1% higher on Tuesday. French judicial sources say offices of streaming giant Netflix in Paris and Amsterdam have been raided by the French and Dutch authorities as part of an investigation into tax fraud. Officials from the two countries have been cooperating on the case since the investigation was opened in November 2022. Netflix has not as yet made any specific comment on the raids, but insists it complies with tax laws wherever it operates. The Amsterdam office is the headquarters of the company's operations in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Finally now, in foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has lost 9 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $159.20 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has lost 83 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $114.84 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has also lost $1.98 and will open trading today, selling for an average $206.96 against the British pound. And that's it for business this morning.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:30.
I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my One JN Passport app. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The temperature by the One JN Passport app is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston and 26 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay.
Houghton's RX, the caring pharmacy, the Yes We Can pharmacy, the Yes It's in Stock pharmacy, the House Call Delivery pharmacy, the RX Pack mobile app pharmacy, the RX Plus digital wallet pharmacy, the 20% reward pharmacy, the easy to remember number pharmacy, 876-RX0RXRX, the easy access 24/7 pharmacy, Houghton's RX, the convenient pharmacy, #wellness, #simply delivered.
Drive Hyundai. Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.99% interest rate. Yes! Shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 4.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 4.99%. Conditions apply.
Ready to make every step count? The CB Group UE5K is back for its 13th year, and together we're changing lives. And this year we're aiming for 100 more scholarships, 100 more dreams fulfilled. Join us on Sunday, November 24 at 6:30 a.m. at UE Mona. Let's run for dreams, run for hope, and run for a brighter future at the CB Group UE5K and Run with Passion Kids K. Register now at runningeventsja.com and let's make a difference one step at a time.
It's so cool, praise the Most High God every day. with your whole heart desire.
Lift the mind, holy, 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 holy.
Holy Mount Zion, would you? Let's sing.
Down to light in Pastor's Green, that leaded me the quiet waters by.
My soul hath restored again, and me to walk thou make within the path of righteousness, even for His name's sake.
Yet though I walk in this dark vale, yet will I fear no ill. Thy rod and staff, they are with me, they surely comfort still.
My table thou hast furnished in the presence of my foes. My head thou hast anointed with oil, my carpet overflow.
Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. And in just house forevermore my dwelling place must be.
Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. And in Jehovah's forevermore my dwelling place shall be.
Good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning, NTM, The Big Show. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us this beautiful Wednesday morning in Kingston City. Still raining, so if you're venturing out today, ensure that you bring with you your umbrella. If you have your water boots, you can wear them. And if the kiddos have to go to school, you ensure you pack their raincoats, all their rain gears that they will need. Good morning to all our YouTubers, our peeps out there in Radio Land. Hello to you if you're joining us on the app or the website. It is Wednesday, November 6th, 2024, the day after the big day in the United States of America. I've been getting so many messages from, the early hours of this morning, George. And most of them are people who are disappointed in the results. And you have been seeing what has been happening in our WhatsApp group from last evening as well. And for a time, Cliff was quite quiet. For a time after 9 o'clock, Sir was quite quiet. But he has turned up to the party now. And he's saying he's gutted.
Good morning, Tona.
Good morning, George.
So I had a whole... I didn't, in my head, say, boy, I'm going to choose this for what's on my mind, because I knew that the US result would have influenced it one way or the other.
Yeah.
There's so much to say in so little time. Firstly, congratulations to Donald Trump. Most Jamaican, what do I know? I've not done any survey. Many people are unhappy, disappointed that he's won, but it's the democracy. I want to say that I could have been $10,000 richer this morning. Let me explain. Tana was a witness. You see, I'm very happy that these production meetings, Tana is there because, you know, she can bear out what I'm saying. Pull me up if she say, no, George, I'm not sorry, but that's not true. Or, you know, so you can't say, not go so now this morning, viewers, listeners. So Tana was witness. When I went into my wallet and produced a $5,000 note and gave it to the nationwide banker. When you're betting, the banker is Shalois Michael. So we put it in a Shalai hand and said a certain candidate. Cliff Hughes jump up and say, oh, he's betting for a certain candidate. Ricardo Brooks went into his wallet and produced $5,000 and said, he is going against me by betting for another candidate. So Ricardo Brooks gave Shaloi his $5,000. I gave Shaloi my $5,000 first. So I said, Cliff, where your $5,000? Him said, boy, him never have cash to that quantum in his wallet. So he'll pay her later. All right. Now Cliff say, take him word. And Cliff is a man of his word. 2 days later, I inquired with the banker, say, they bet them come in? She said no. Not even 2 days later, it was because it was from the Friday, so it was from the week. So from Friday, you know, listeners, listen carefully, you know. I put my $5,000 on the table for my candidate. Brooks matched it, $5,000 for his candidate. Cliff said he's entering the bet, $5,000 for him. So from Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, now me check and say, okay, shall I? Always stay all the bets in? She said no. Me say, what you mean? She said, Ricardo, take back your $5,000. Tana lie me I tell?
No.
All right. When she said Ricardo take back his $5,000, me say, so hold on. Cliff give you money yet? She said no. Cliff was sitting right beside her. So me say, boss, what go on? Oh, him now have no cash. No, Cliff is a man. Cliff Billy no empty, you know. Cliff always cash, you know. So me say, oh you finna. So him going in him wallet. So Jeremy and King tell me say Cliff wallet tick so when they fold it tick so. Him going on some little thousand. So me say him never have 5,000. Cold feet. So Brooks abandoned the bet. Take back his money. And Cliff can't produce him. Cliff want the bet for trust. I say Cliff, we don't gambling go. I don't say it work. You don't trust bet. You can't go book here and say, boy, yeah, trust bet. No. And so I was compelled, listeners, viewers, to take back my 5,000 because the man them abandoned me in the bet. So I compelled the banker to return my 5,000 to me. So I took back my 5,000. So Tana, I came very close to being $10,000 richer this morning. But I don't want to knock them too hard because they're bleeding this morning. Kingston must knock them, but me nah knock them. Poor Brooks can't take no pressure, and Cliff in a film state right now, him can't take no poor thing. So Kingston Ricardo will win 50 push-up. I tell you what, that's gonna be more painful than the 5,000.
and that bet I believe was from last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On air. So Jeremy can go back to the archives.
I don't know. But just feel like the two of them each owe me $5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, beyond that, serious thing now. You know, there's a quote that, depending on, well, if you read reasonably well, or if you read widely, certainly you'll know it. If you read reasonably widely, you'll know it. And if you listen to people who are informed, you'll hear them say it from time to time. It was a quote that over time has been misattributed to several people who had nothing to do with it. But the originator of the quote was a French philosopher, lawyer, diplomat named Joseph de Maistre. Didn't live for long, Joseph didn't. Them time, you know, people live till 60 odd time for your dead. So he died at about 67. Died in 1821. In 1811, 10 years before he died, he left a quote with the world that has cemented his legacy. Yeah, see how long he died? 1821, and still to this day we're talking about it. He said, every country gets the government it deserves. The first time I saw that quote would have been in about I had not gone to university. It may have been about the year 2000 or thereabouts. I saw that. Yeah? And from the moment I saw that, there's this, I have a notebook that I write these things down. I scribble it in the notebook from then. And I've always gone back to it because it has never been proven wrong. Now, the quote has been widely debated, people wondering what did the Maestre mean, And given that he was a man who was a supporter of the monarchy and the monarchic leadership structure, people said, well, he didn't mean what people have popularly attributed the meaning to be. But what he was effectively saying was that, and yes, he's a monarchist, he said that, look, I believe in the monarchy leading a country. Because if you put the commoners in charge, then you're going to have to just live with what the commoners do. And if you put the commoners in charge, then you have to just accept the consequences of making that decision. So however you interpret it, it's not wrong. Every country gets the government it deserves. And that's the beauty, if you may, of democracy. We can't cuss democracy, we can't hug up democracy when it suits us, The people in the United States exercised their democratic right. They picked the candidate they believe is better suited to deliver what they think are the things that can improve their lives. Now, get this straight. I know personally family members of mine and friends of mine who voted in this election, some who are Americans, some who are dual citizens. And among the big group, I have a big family in California. Among the California group of the family, several people voted Trump. So in the group would say, what's happening here? And they say, listen, don't get it twisted. It's not that we like Donald Trump. It's not we think that he's a upstanding man in the way that men and women should be upstanding. That's not the issue, they said. I said, oh? They said it's simply because he is the better of the two candidates. They said they supported Trump because he was better than the candidate the Democrats put forward. And many people in the US who voted Trump on Tuesday and before in early voting, that's the basic reason that prompted what they did when they stepped up to the place to make their mark against the candidate of their choice. So, yes, it's an exercise in democracy. That's free will. That's what men and women have fought for over the years, to put you in a position on the basis of your conscience to make the decision you believe is in your individual best interest. And if you want to magnify it to say, okay, I'm voting for what's in my best interest and what's the best interest of the country, because sometimes there can be a conflict between the two. Yeah? So that was the selection. And this flawed human being, and people say, well, everybody's flawed, yeah, but Trump is more flawed than most people. It's a fact. Trump is a convicted criminal. And look at that. Despite being a convicted criminal, almost 5 million people more voted for him than Kamala. What does that tell you? And there are many people cursing out those who voted for him on Tuesday, cursing the US democracy, ranting and raging about the result. I say to all of you, calm. This is the result of the same democracy that you praise and lionize and say you're proud to be a part of, whichever part of the world you are. The last thing I'll say is this. You see, pocketbook issues, they are of primary importance. And you see, when people tell you that they don't feel like they're doing well, and as a politician, you try to talk down to them to say, listen, you don't even understand. You are doing so well and you don't even know. Let me explain to you how well you are doing. There's a danger in that. The Democrats engaged in a lot of that. When people said that, listen, I said the economy doing well, but we not really see it that way there. There's a way to speak to them to make them understand that, all right, listen, all right, I'm on the path to delivering that feeling to you. Let's continue the journey. That's not what they did. The Democrats in large part spoke down to the people to tell them that, oi, hush up your mouth. You do so well, you ain't even know. You're an idiot. Let me show you how you're doing well and why you're doing well. And people never like that. So the exit polls showed that the state of the democracy, state of the economy, the two most important things which influence people's votes. And yeah, the result is as it is. The democracy has delivered Trump season 2. You have to accept it. Guess what? The world must go on. Thursday must come, you know. May come without me, may come without you, but it must come. Yeah? And tomorrow is Trump Thursday, Trump Friday, Trump Saturday, and continue along. It's just so it go.
Youth in conflict with the law can get a second chance through child diversion. For more information, visit moj.gov.jm. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:49.
KFC pop, popcorn chicken. KFC popcorn chicken. Incredible, delicious, finger licking in this house when me dip it. I can't resist it. Once you start, you can't stop.
Do whatever the crunch you want with KFC's popcorn chicken. Delicious, juicy, irresistible. Now available in barbecue. KFC, it's finger licking good.
KFC popcorn chicken.
This is a public service announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Kingston Wharves Limited wishes to inform its customers and the general public that delivery services at all facilities will resume this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024 at 8 a.m. Vessel services remain operational 24/7. Kingston Wharves team members are requested to report for their regular duties. We encourage all team members and customers to exercise caution while traveling, as conditions may still be affected by the recent passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. That was an announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Shop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes courtesy of Lasco, Grace Foods, and Facey Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6th. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. The best value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Ludlow McLean, El Shaddai, and Street Smarts. What a combination that has served us so well over the years. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Good morning, George, and good morning, Tona.
Good morning to you, Ludlow.
Good morning to our listeners. I'm not surprised at the outcome, George, anyway. But I'm going to send you something from a man, from a gentleman named Joshua Mpongo. He's from Zimbabwe. And he says that democracy is a smoke screen of lies. I don't know.
Yeah, Mopongo.
Listen to it. Mopongo.
Yeah, Mr. King says, Mr. King, open his reading in the door and put him. Yeah?
All right. I know that.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to send it to you.
No problem, sir.
And but in the meantime, I'm not so sure if people are still in a mode that they want to stay home or they're going to come out a little later. But there is traffic, don't forget, coming on the Mandela to the Boulevard to Spanish Town Road, but it's moving. It's not like previous months. I guess some might be leaving late, starting work tomorrow, or they might come out a little bit later, but it's good access on the road so far. But you still have to look out for certain areas with potholes. But Boulevard, surprisingly, is moving quite steadily on the eastbound leg. The westbound leg on Boulevard to 6 miles, not a problem. Even at the intersection of Dunrobin, it's busy, but it moves. Once the light gives you that go ahead, going down Compton Spring, and even all of these roads, Waterloo, Kingsway, Hope Road going in both directions, eastbound, westbound, it's not a problem. You can make your way, even going across Trafalgar, then onto Knutsford Boulevard in both directions. You won't have a problem. You can make your way. Even along Barbican Road, if you're coming off Acadia Drive, Grand Spain Road, Acadia Drive, Russell Light, and Vertical Lane onto Barbican, the movement is good. Maybe it builds up by the time we get to our second report, but so far, so good. Don't get me wrong, there is traffic, but it's building, and I'm saying normally people will be out early, but it seems to be like it's a late start, and I forget, and maybe some schools are still out. So there you go. But it's now looking bright and sunny. We're looking in some areas, we are looking at some cumulus clouds, but bright and sunny. It's back to you, George, in the studio.
Thank you, Lotto McLean there from the Street Smarts team. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day, Q-U-I-D-P-R-O-Q-U-O, spelled Q-U-I-D-P-R-O-Q-U-O.
Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo. Pro quo is your word of the day. And it's spelled again Q-U-I-D-P-R-O-Q-U-O, meaning something that is given or taken in return for something else. It's a noun, and dictionary.com is telling us that it was first recorded between 1555 and 1565. To use it in a sentence provided by dictionary.com, during the negotiation, each side wanted to declare quid pro quo before agreeing to any terms. That's your word of the day. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Emergencies come in all forms: automobile accidents, bite wounds, burns, heat stroke, poisoning, seizures, and more. In Pet World today, CPR for an unconscious or unresponsive dog. Here is veterinarian Dr. Erica Tinson with how to perform CPR on an unresponsive dog.
Before starting CPR, it's important to check for airway, breathing, and circulation. You can recognize an animal in cardiopulmonary arrest by it being unconscious and not breathing at all. To check for breathing, look for the chest wall rising and falling. Try to wake the animal from its state. It's important that this process doesn't take any more than 10 to 15 seconds. Before starting CPR, try to call for help. There are a few key components in performing CPR correctly. First, we'll look at animal and hand positioning. Lie the animal on its left or right side. For round-chested dogs, like Labradors or mid to large breed dogs, perform compressions over the highest point of the chest. For keel-chested dogs, like Boxers and Dobermans, or small dogs and cats, perform compressions directly over the point of the heart. You can locate the point of the heart by moving the elbow backward slightly to the point where it meets the chest. There are exceptions, and these are the flat-chested breed dogs, like the French Bulldogs. In these breeds, you'll need to roll the animal onto its back and perform compressions directly over the sternum. Secondly, we'll just look at the correct hand technique to be used during CPR. We use a double-handed technique whereby one hand is positioned over the top of the other hand. The shoulders are positioned directly over the hands and the elbows should be locked.
Dr. Tinson says chest compression on an unresponsive dog should be hard, especially in large breed dogs.
It's important that chest compressions occur at a rate of around 100 to 120 beats per minute. Chest compressions should also be quite hard in large breed dogs. The chest needs to be compressed by about 1/2 to 1/3 of the chest width. It is important not to lean on the animal when performing CPR. So in between chest compressions, the chest needs to fully re-expand to maximize CPR effectiveness in moving blood around the body. It's also important to allow CPR to run for at least 2 minutes uninterrupted and minimize pauses. In a lot of settings, intubation is not possible. In these situations, we need to provide mouth-to-snout ventilation. What we do is provide 2 breaths for every 30 compressions performed. To provide the breaths to the animal, make sure that the mouth is tightly closed so that any breaths delivered via the nostrils do not escape by the mouth. Try to keep the head and neck extended and straight as well so that any breaths delivered make it straight the way down to the thorax.
Dr. Erica Tinson, veterinarian. That's it for Pets World today.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Losing your sanity is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Believe me. I don't want you to be on edge, so I'm here to help you with your mental health. Let's talk mental health here on Lifestyle Pages. I'm Tana. Value who you are. Spend time getting to do things that you like. Boost your self-esteem and love yourself. You are wonderfully made. Take care of your body. Avoid cigarettes and the consumption of other dangerous substances in your body. Drink plenty of water, eat fresh fruits and vegetables. Exercise. This helps to minimize depression and improves your mood. Surround yourself with positive people. Quiet your mind through meditation, reading, listening to music, and of course, I suggest Enigma. You can find her on YouTube and learn to pray about your trouble. And when you do, have faith that it will be answered. Stop stressing. Signing out from your Lifestyle Pages, I'm Tana.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
From Negril Point to Morant Bay, a little kindness can go a far way. The time by the Jamaica Information Service is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024, Donald Trump has been elected the 47th President of the United States. It's nomination day in 4 areas for the November 22 by-elections, and the NWC says 70 of its supply systems were affected by Tropical Storm Raphael, while overseas 6 U.S. states expand abortion protections as Florida ballot fails.
News at 7 is brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Donald Trump has been elected the 47th President of the United States. With a win in Wisconsin, Trump cleared the 270 electoral votes needed to clinch the presidency. His path to victory was also carved by wins in the swing states of North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. The win caps a historically tumultuous campaign that included 2 assassination attempts. Trump is the first person since Grover Cleveland in 1893 to win non-consecutive presidential terms. Hailing a magnificent victory, the Republican told a jubilant crowd in Florida that America has given them an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
Every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again.
That's Donald Trump, the incoming President of the United States. Beaten Democratic candidate Kamala Harris is yet to concede or address supporters. It's nomination day for the 4 by-elections. Presumptive candidates are expected to submit their nominations for parliamentary by-elections in the constituencies of Northwest St. Andrew and South Trelawney. The ruling JLP is set to field Dwayne Smith for Northwest St. Andrew. In South Trelawney, the party is set to field Marissa Dalrymple Philibert. The opposition PNP says it will not contest the parliamentary by-elections. It will, however, contest the municipal corporation polls, as nominations are also expected in the Annan Town division in Clarendon and Morant Bay division in St. Thomas. In Annan Town, the PNP's Delroy Dawson and the JLP's Suzette Barton are set to do battle. Over in the Morant Bay division, the JLP is set to field Winston Down, while the PNP is set to put up Rosemary Shaw. All 4 by-elections are set for November 22. The Met Service has extended its flash flood warning for low-lying and flood-prone areas of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. A flash flood warning means flooding has been reported or will occur shortly. Meanwhile, a flash flood watch has been extended for Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. A flash flood watch means flooding is possible and that residents should take precautions. The Met Service says the advisories will remain in effect until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. It says up to 5 inches of rain have been reported over these sections of some southern parishes, resulting in flooding. Jamaicans should expect additional periods of moderate to heavy rainfall, measuring up to 6 inches in some places. It says landslides should also be anticipated in hilly areas. Small craft operators are being reminded to remain in safe harbor until wind and the sea conditions have returned to normal. The Education Ministry says where possible, schools should reopen for face-to-face classes today, Wednesday, November 6. In a statement on Tuesday, Portfolio Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the decision comes after careful assessment of the current weather conditions affecting the island. Parents and guardians are encouraged to contact their school leadership for updates on the reopening of their children's institution. Minister Dixon says schools have been instructed to activate their communication channels with key stakeholders to facilitate informed decision-making and a timely dissemination of information. She says in areas where returning to face-to-face classes is unsafe, remote learning should continue through virtual platforms, televised lessons, computer-aided programs, learning kits, assigned tasks from textbooks and workbooks, worksheets, and other available modalities. Meanwhile, Dr. Dixon says all government offices will reopen for business today.
Based on consultations with the Meteorological Service of Jamaica and the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Government of Jamaica offices will reopen tomorrow, Wednesday, November 6, 2024. The Government of Jamaica extends its sincere gratitude to all essential workers who demonstrated unwavering dedication in maintaining critical public services throughout today's inclement weather.
She says public sector employees having difficulties getting to work should contact their supervisor.
The Met Office has indicated that intermittent heavy rains will continue throughout the night, and this may result in challenges for some of our public sector employees to get to work tomorrow morning. We therefore urge any of our public sector employees who are having any difficulty getting to work to please communicate with their supervisors or the head of their entities as soon as they can do so. We're going to be in a mode of flexibility tomorrow because we understand the challenges that some of our employees will have. And so directives will be given to allow for that flexibility and not to charge the leave balances as a result of someone missing work tomorrow.
Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, Information and Education Minister. The Minister with responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, says it's too early to determine the cost of the damage caused by Tropical Storm Raphael. He provided the update on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday evening.
We've had challenges over the last 2 to 3 months with the rainfall. We would have loved to have been much further out, but we've had unprecedented rains over the last 3 months. This is another setback, but we are very committed. The patching is not just for this year. The program continues all the way up to March next year. So we'll have an opportunity to repair some of the damage that has been caused by this system as well. And we have another program called Spark coming up that will also fix a lot of the roads that may be damaged by this system. The determination of the cost of the damage will be made in the coming days. And I'm sure the Prime Minister will update the nation when the National Works Agency and the other agencies come to the table with the full cost of the damage that we've suffered.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has ordered preliminary damage assessments across the island following intense rainfall, following intense rainfall and flooding associated with what is now Hurricane Raphael. The National Works Agency will be spearheading the assessments. The NWA will be deploying teams and resources to clear blocked routes and restore access to critical areas across the affected parishes starting today. Minister Morgan says among the areas to be assessed is the collapsed roadway through the community of Mount Prospect in West Rural St. Andrew.
The MP has said that she will be working to create an alternate route. We are going to be ensuring that happens because that's important. I have already instructed the National Works Agency to give me an assessment of what is the solution. This one is very significant. It has taken off an entire piece of the hillside. We're going to have to do an assessment as to what is the solution. It may not be building back the road right there. It may be finding another means of doing it. I do not know. But we're working with the Member of Parliament, and the NWA has been instructed to give us a proper assessment as to what we can do to assist the people immediately and also in the long term.
That's Robert Morgan, Minister with responsibility for Works. Meanwhile, the Works Minister says the Holness administration will find the resources to assist those who've suffered losses due to the recent weather event.
The government will do what it can for the people to the best of its ability. Beryl was a really bad hit on us as a country. We've had to spend over $1 billion repairing schools. We're now up to about $4 billion budgeted for roads. And the Ministry of Labour and Social Security has had to also spend a lot of money to assist people in Southern Clarendon, Southern St. Elizabeth and several other places. We are a government that cares, and we're going to do what we need to do to make sure our people are okay. The government has managed the fiscal space very well, which is why we're able to do all of these things without having to go to the market to borrow money. That management continues, and I'm sure the Prime Minister will give the country a full understanding of how we're going to assist those who have been damaged, or we will assist those who have been damaged. I'm not really thinking about the fiscal space currently. I'm thinking about people's safety and the ability of people to carry on their lives and to protect their property.
Robert Morgan, Minister in charge of Works. Approximately 70 of the NWC's supply systems were affected by the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. The NWC's Corporate Public Relations Manager, Delana Williams, provided the update on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday.
Overall, 70 systems impacted. This is a far less number from Beryl, which was over 300 systems. Secondly, most of these are impacted by the rainfall itself, flooding of the intake, as we call it, which is really the source. And so we are now having to do the remedial work in terms of clearing those intake which could have been blocked by silt or debris, sanitizing those facilities and then restarting. But all of this is dependent on how quickly the rain stops and we can safely access the facilities.
Williams says the problems are being caused mainly by high turbidity levels, landslides and flooding.
Between Kingston and St. Andrew, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, reporting the brunt of the systems that are out currently for us. And a lot of those are what we call surface systems, meaning they are either rivers or small springs.
So it would be because of the flooding?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of issues right now with power supply. Most of our systems are in fact coming from high turbidity, flooding, siltation, debris impacting our facilities.
And Mr. Williams says the NWC is looking to truck water to residents in affected communities.
But it will again come down to where the needs are, how easily we can access those. What we are encouraging customers is see how best you can conserve over the next 24 hours from what you already have in storage. We are taking all the requests as quickly as possible so we can plan those routes and commence the trucking as quickly and as safely as possible.
Delana Williams, the NWC's acting corporate public relations manager. The local government minister Desmond McKenzie says an assessment will be done to see whether emergency shelters need to remain open to accommodate people affected by Tropical Storm Raphael.
Overall, I think of the shelters, we had about
32 people right across where the shelters were open. I can't be specific in terms of numbers, but I do know in St. Elizabeth, the municipal corporation has been working with the Member of Parliament to find some alternative solutions for persons who have to evacuate their homes. But we have not had a lot of persons gravitating to shelters this time around. But the shelters will still be activated. We are not going to reduce the activities within our shelters, and as it relates to the various parishes, we will keep that up. And then tomorrow we will make an assessment to see whether or not we should continue or we should scale down.
That's Desmond McKenzie, local government minister. The Office of Utilities Regulation OUR says the country's 4 major utility providers have activated their disaster preparedness protocols in response to the passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. Public education specialist at the OUR is Elizabeth Bennett Marsh.
At a meeting on November 5, the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited indicated that it has activated its Incident Command Center and will report daily to the OUR and the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport on the status of the system and their restoration efforts. Telecommunications providers Flow and Digicel have also indicated that they have activated their business continuity teams and have put mitigation measures in place. And the National Water Commission has shared its initiatives to keep its customers and the public advised of how its system is being affected by the adverse weather and the mitigation steps it has taken so far.
Elizabeth Bennett Marsh. The Jamaica Defence Force says the stash of weapons and the tactical gear found in the possession of a JDF private were not issued by the JDF. On Sunday, the JDF private was arrested at a vehicular checkpoint at the Cannonball Gate at Up Park Camp in St. Andrew. During a search of the trunk of his vehicle, a team from the force found a JDF-issued Bergen kit bag. Several firearms, ammunition and paraphernalia were found during the check. These include a Browning 9mm pistol, a Smith & Wesson firearms, several magazines containing 9mm rounds, a taser, blank and live rounds, and an imitation toy pistol. The bag also contained a combat knife, handcuffs, pepper spray, binoculars, infrared laser, rifle scope, a pistol holder, red dot optic sights, gloves, and a laser flashlight. The JDF says it has engaged the police to facilitate an investigation. The soldier remains in custody at the JDF's headquarters. Overseas news now. Voters in 6 states have approved measures to protect or expand abortion rights, but a bid to restore protections for the procedure failed in Florida. A variety of questions on abortion access were on the ballot in 10 states during the election, in which the issue was a galvanizing force for many voters. The proposal in Florida would have allowed abortion until the point of fetal viability, or about 24 weeks, but it fell short of the threshold of 60% support it needed in order to pass. But an amendment aimed at overturning a near-total abortion ban in Missouri, where a majority of voters backed Donald Trump, appeared on track for victory. That's the news.
News at 7 was brought to you by Hyundai. Modern, premium, affordable vehicles.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:16.
Experience unmatched performance and ultimate control with KYB shocks from Bird's Auto Parts. KYB shocks are perfect for every ride. Choose from our wide range of shocks such as Gas Adjust, Scorch Force, and XLG, which provides superior handling and stability on all terrain. For a smoother, safer, and more reliable drive, choose KYB. Available now at Bird's Auto Parts. Get 15% off your purchase of 2 or more KYB shocks. August 9 to November 8. It hurts if you don't check Birds.
With Jamaica Automobile Association, membership is a win-win. Enter the JAA Fuel Up promotion and you could win the grand prize of JAA Gold membership for 1 year plus fuel valued at $240,000. Just purchase, renew or upgrade your JAA membership or use your individual JAA advance card to buy at least $10,000 of fuel a month. So, fuel up! There's also monthly prices of $20,000 in fuel. Enter now. JAA Fuel Up promotion ends December 13, 2024. Conditions apply.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Street Smarts 2, Ludlow McLean. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Morning again, George. And remember, I told you things was building. Some areas are still moving smoothly, but Chisholm Avenue, in the Richmond Park here, Chisholm Avenue, places like Queens Avenue, and going through Montgomery Avenue, it's still pretty good going. But if you're coming from Waltham onto O'Mara Road or going onto in the vicinity of East Road, you have some traffic going through. But again, it's still moving. Remember now, the entire workforce, I guess, is not out yet, or maybe they're moving a little later, and most schools, I believe, are out. So it makes it much more easier to maneuver. Wet conditions still persist, and I noticed I should also mention the intersection of Queens Avenue and Chisholm Avenue. The potholes have emerged, so you're going to be careful once you get on the Queens Avenue. To get onto Chisholm Avenue, you're going to have some potholes to contend with. I suspect in many other areas we have potholes, and the patching really has come to a halt, and that is noticeably so, and we know the reasons why. But we urge, there's another area where you have the call center along Half the Tree Road. That is when you pass Chelsea Avenue to get onto Oxford Road. There are pools of water there. A number of people commute in that area to go to work. Please, motorists, be considerate. Do not splash them. All right? But to say now, until subsequent to this report, I guess it's still going to be the same good movement in most areas, but you have the potholes to contend with. So it's a report for the day, and until what? Tomorrow, 6:45 a.m., George, it's back to you.
All right, thank you, Lord
George,
there. Yes, sir. Yeah.
George, remember, I'm going to send you that thing.
Yeah, man, I heard you the first time, man. Yeah, man, I heard you. So I'm expecting it. All right, cool. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smart 2. Up next, front page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Kingston Wharves Limited wishes to inform its customers and the general public that delivery services at all facilities will resume this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024 at 8 a.m. Vessel services remain operational 24/7. Kingston Wharves team members are requested to report for their regular duties. Kingston Wharves encourages all team members and customers to exercise caution while traveling, as conditions may still be affected by the recent passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. That was an important announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Front page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. On the front page, to begin, we'll be getting some updates in relation to how the adverse weather conditions have affected certain parts of the island. And then in the latter part of the front page, we'll turn our attention to the United States of America to get some reactions to the results coming out of their presidential elections. So to begin, the Met Service has extended its flash flood warning for low-lying and flood-prone areas of Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, and St. Andrew and St. Thomas. A flash flood warning means flooding has been reported or will occur shortly. Meanwhile, a flash flood watch has been extended for Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. A flash flood watch means flooding is possible and that residents should take precautions. The Met Service says the advisories will remain in effect until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. It says up to 5 inches of rainfall has been reported over sections of some southern parishes, resulting in flooding. Jamaicans should expect additional periods of moderate to heavy rainfall, measuring up to 6 inches in some places. There were reports of flood in the resort town of Negril in Westmoreland. For an update, we're being joined by the president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Elaine Allen Bradley, and MP for Western Westmoreland, Moreland Wilson. So far, we have on the line Elaine Allen Bradley, still trying to make contact with the Member of Parliament. Good morning to you, Elaine.
Good morning, team.
Morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. What's the update this morning on what we saw yesterday? Several images as well as footage coming out of Negril. Seems as if the entire town was flooded.
The entire town was flooded. One good news, though, is that the new road that they have done at the west end and the corner where the wall broke away, no water has settled there. So that means they've done a good job with the drainage. But in the town, going towards Sab, just as you leave the town, that is bad. Really, really. And that gets flooded a lot of times. The water comes down from Good Hope. There's a big drain that was just dug and left. And there's a drainage under the road. But I don't think that drainage is clear. I think a lot of people are putting marl and everything there. So every time it rains, it just gets flooded out. You cannot see the road. It's just like a river. And that was how it was yesterday. I haven't been on the road this morning, so I don't know if that is subsided or not. I'm going to go down there now because we have a voluntary dental clinic going on. Should have gone on from yesterday, but we are hoping to see some patients today. So, and that's on that side. So I'm hoping when I go there, I will just assess the damage and see what can be done. I know that the MP has been out. The ground is so saturated that people have to be aware that there are trees that can just fall down. I mean, I was seeing Winthrop Wellington from Travelers did a video, and he was driving down yesterday, and as soon as he passed, a tree just fell right across the road. And that's how saturated the ground is. So people driving have to be careful when they're passing trees because they can just collapse.
And Elaine, for yesterday, based on what we have seen in the town, have you gotten any reports about businesses being affected, flooded out?
Businesses they have closed. So I don't know yet if you have to be mindful that some of the businesses in the town center, they are on a little gradient. So they won't get flooded out. The water will pass through. But I have not heard of any flooded out. I know most of them were closed. So I don't know. I will have to check the Sunshine Village Plaza. Water I know normally settles there because that's more or less like a waterbed. So I don't know how high the water is there. But I doubt a lot of people, the water would pass through rather than the water sitting in the town center I'm talking. There are other people that have been flooded out elsewhere, but I'm speaking in the town center. I tell you, there's a lot of money has to be spent in Negril. Roads have been washed away. My road, which is Westland Mountain Road, from the first set of rain, it started crumbling. So now it's almost impassable, Westland Mountain Road. And that's one of the main roads in Negril. It's very bad, and I've heard that most of it is washed away. And if it's washed away, it's gone to the sea. So I don't know. I'm going to try to traverse it in a little while and see what happens. And I'm hoping that the parish council will try to see how they can rehabilitate some of the roads, even to make them passable for people right now.
Mm-hmm. So the fix for you, Elaine, I mean, I was just going through social media, seeing the reactions from people who seem to be from that area. The same thing you're saying about drainage. Have conversations ever been had with the business community about this issue and where drainage might need to be, and what do the authorities say about that?
Yes, drainage is a big concern, especially on the boulevard and to some of the roads along the west end, because the water comes off the hill, especially, and run towards the sea. Now, the people have to be educated that they cannot keep blocking up and marling the place. The water needs somewhere to go, and they need proper drainage and sufficient, adequate drainage, because they'll put drainage in, but you can't put a little pipe to take gallons, millions of gallons of water to the sea. So it has to be a proper engineering, structural thing that has to be done. Read the drainage. For example, the road that's flooded out going towards Sab, just out of the Negril town, the drainage that they have put in, they have put like a 8 or 10 inch culvert, and then a 6 inch to take it to the river, which is across the road. I mean, that cannot take all, I mean, I'm no engineer, but that cannot take the force or the magnitude of water that comes down from Good Hope. And that's why we're always getting the flooding there. So we need to take that into, if you're going to build a community in the flats, you need to take in the drainage.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The MP has been out in the rain. He's been having his team cutting up trees. So he's been trying his best to make the roadways as possible, as possible, as is possible. But he cannot do it on his own. So he needs a lot of help. And we need to actually get the parish council to come out and help us, because we have to work together for the benefit of our people. At the end of it is the people that are suffering. So we need to get to work together. And if there's anything I can do or the chamber can do to help, I know some of the chamber members have been helping to clear roads, cutting trees that are across the road. And so we need to get together as a team and clear our communities for the benefit of the people.
We thank you for that update this morning, Elaine Allen Bradley, who's the president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. We were unable to make contact with the MP for Western Westmoreland, Moreland Wilson. Perhaps at another time. But thank you so much for your time this morning.
Maybe
Allen
he's
Bradley.
still on the road.
Perhaps.
I don't know if he got to bed last night, because late he was on the road
Yes.
helping people.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome, and be safe now.
You too. Gonna take a break and come back with more.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:32.
Does your bra ride up your back? Do your shoulders hurt from carrying the weight of your breasts? These are signs of an ill-fitting bra. When was the last time you were fitted by a bra fit specialist? The bra experts at LaBelle Femme will take care of you. Drop into the store at 53 Lady Musgrave Road, Tuesdays to Saturdays from 10 to 5, and you will see the difference. Or call 876-622-6091.
This is an important announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Kingston Wharves Limited wishes to inform its customers and the general public that delivery services at all facilities will resume this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024 at 8 a.m. Vessel services remain operational 24/7. Kingston Wharves team members are requested to report for their regular duties. Kingston Wharves encourages all team members and customers to exercise caution while traveling, as conditions may still be affected by the recent passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. That was an important announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Back with us on Nationwide this morning, the morning after Americans voted for Donald Trump to occupy the White House for a second time, and other things making the rounds done as we wait to connect our guests. There was a collection, a collage of images from analysts working on the various news panels covering the election last night. So the MSNBC panel from about 11 p.m. It looked funereal. The CNN panel looked as if they would rather be anywhere but where they were. The Fox panel grinning ear to ear, the anchor and the correspondents, and you could just tell. So by the time I retired late, I said to myself, the morning pictures are going to be something to behold. Yeah?
And similar to how our YouTube channel is set up now, George, where there's a split screen with you and I. It was I was watching ABC's coverage, and it was a similar split screen at a point, maybe about after 12, with the Trump watch party versus the Kamala Harris watch party. So, of course, the Trump supporters, jubilant mood, lots of cheer, festive music playing in the background, as the journalist assigned to the Republican Watch Party was giving an update on what was happening. More people coming in. And then it was the absolute opposite on the side of the Kamala Harris Watch Party that was taking place at Howard University. Where people were just leaving in droves. Yeah, and you had a lot of people who still stayed, and they were waiting to see if Kamala Harris would appear and make some sort of brief presentation as to what was going on. She did not come. It was another member of their team who came on and said she will make a speech tomorrow. Things are not done yet, but we're asking you at this time, go home. Yeah.
And people are waiting to. People always want to kick you when you're down. So people are already making much of the fact that she didn't emerge to speak. I mean, give her a break, man. She lost the thing, and trying to reconcile with it. So if she comes today, as I expect, to speak, then that's fine. You can't knock the woman for not coming out last night. Just quickly before we go to our guests, there's an article here in my favorite newspaper, Guardian.co.uk, which speaks to 10 key moments from Trump's triumphant journey to the White House. 1, low energy beginning. They say when Trump launched his campaign from his Florida resort of Mar-a-Lago, it surprised many with its low-key feel, and it certainly did not entirely signal the fury and resentment that would come to define the campaign as it played out. 2, immigration and racism became the centerpiece of the campaign. 3, assassination attempts and an iconic picture. They spoke to the picture of Trump, bloodied but unbowed, raising his fists in the air and exhorting his supporters to fight. Yeah, after that incident in Pennsylvania, and then the other one where in Florida, where the man in the bushes at the golf course was spotted.
Right.
4, New York City rally with a Nazi echo as fascism debate emerges in the race. That's when fascism cropped up for real after that New York City rally and the message about Latinos and Puerto Ricans and whatever. 5, a refusal to debate after losing the second debate to Kamala Harris. Remember, he shut down all debates after that because it didn't go well for him. 6, a Republican convention speech that declined to go for national unity. So they criticized him roundly for failing to even attempt to unite the nation at the Republican conference. He just went for the jugular and went for his hardline base, while Kamala Harris went for, national kumbaya, we're all journeying together. That they're saying that this happened on the campaign trail for Trump as one of the highlights. 7, courting men becomes a theme. He went out for the men, especially the white men and the black men, to vote for him. This one now, I believe, was significant in ways that are to be studied. J.D. Vance's recovery to emerge as an heir. Remember how J.D. Vance was parodied? There was a particular very crude joke that I can't repeat here because it's morning radio about him and a couch. And it was the butt of jokes on the late night talk shows. If you watch Jimmy Kimmel, Jon Stewart, as I do, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, all of those guys, they had him nailing him with that couch joke. And everybody thought that this, hillbilly kind of guy, wrong pick. That debate against Tim Walz made people say, wait a minute.
He's a sober guy.
Yes. He came across very sensible and very relatable. Elon Musk, number 9, enters politics as a crucial ally to Trump. Of course, we all know how that went. $1 million bounty to people in Pennsylvania to support Trump. And then, of course, Trump, the election denier, number 10. So it says that those were the 10 big moments of the Trump journey to the White House. And I think it's pretty comprehensive, capturing all of the highs and lows of a campaign that ultimately ended up in victory.
Has The Guardian done one for Kamala Harris?
No, that will come for sure. That will come. That will come for sure.
Yeah,
you have to give the winner pride of place, eh?
Yes.
There you go.
Turning our attention now to get some reactions.
Oh, sorry, Tana.
It is there.
They are here. It came late.
Let's let the listeners hear that top 10.
The surprise Biden endorsement that started it. That's number 1. 2, Kamala is a brat. Yeah, Charlie XCX and the adoption of, Kamala is brat, and the brat was the word of the year by one of the leading dictionary publications this year. Yeah. 3, a Democratic Convention of Joy. It says that a Democratic National Convention once intended for Joe Biden and now portrayed as a coronation for Kamala Harris. The one emotion that seemed to sweep the hall was one not usually associated with America's political landscape in 2024. Joy, the mood of enthusiasm for a fresh face in a race previously dominated by 2 elderly white men who had fought an election before, was palpable. The event passed off seamlessly, cementing Harris's rising power in the polls as she clawed back Biden's losses and started to move ahead. That's number 3. 4, a crushing debate performance to beat Donald Trump. That doesn't need explaining. 5, keeping a distance from Joe Biden. It says Joe Biden picked her for VP, endorsed her as his successor, and ran by many accounts a significant presidency with a remarkable economic recovery from the wreckage of the pandemic. However, Harris and her campaign kept a clear distance from the current occupant of the White House. Harris has always been deeply respectful of Biden and reluctant to criticize him, but his campaign events have been rare. One incident highlighted why. In the wake of a row over racist comments about Puerto Ricans at a Trump rally in New York City, Biden seemingly insulted the very people Harris was trying to win over when he claimed, quote, "The only garbage I see floating out there is Trump supporters." 6, the Walz pick that soared and then swooped. Harris picked the Minnesota Governor Tim Walz early on in her campaign, cementing a wave of excitement, especially on the progressive left. The genial former high school football coach had come to prominence as a highly successful surrogate for Harris, with his Midwestern charm, plain speaking, and knack for an insult. That charmed the campaign early on, especially as Walz was happy to dub his Republican opponents as simply weird. But as the campaign wore on and adopted more planned and traditional strategies, Walz became less visible. By the time he debated J.D. Vance, a less combative Walz was widely seen as having been bested by the MAGA favorite. 7. Harris courted Republicans aggressively. 8. The gender gap exposed as Harris courted women. 9. A defining speech in Washington that focused on the threat to democracy. And 10. A last gasp appearance on Saturday Night Live. And for those of you who, again, love your late night TV and your comedies, the first SNL was bad. He portrayed her in a very bad light. And so she went back to SNL to try to undo the bad report from the first appearance. And it was middling at best. Mm-hmm. So that's the Harris campaign in 10 points, according to The Guardian.
And we are going to go to our guests, but before we do that, let's play for our listeners an excerpt from that victory speech that Donald Trump gave last night, hailing it as a magnificent victory. He told a jubilant crowd in Florida, America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. Every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again.
Donald Trump, the U.S. president-elect. After the break, we'll hear from freelance journalist and Donald Trump supporter Ewan James, attorney at law and Democrat Marlon Hill, and former Future Leaders representative for the USA on the Jamaica Diaspora Advisory Board and founder of Blue Maho Capital, David Mullings.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:46.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay.
Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay is back Sunday, November 10th, 6 a.m. New venue, Emancipation Park. Register with your school, alma mater, or companies to win a share of over $1 million. Past students, run, walk, or crawl, but finish the race for the BK Big Finish Prize. Register now at www.runningeventsja.com. Yo, run the track! Burger King 5K and Relay, sponsored by Rainforest Soccer Express. Burger King, developing schools and communities through sports.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Getting reactions now to The big news out of the United States, Donald Trump is the U.S. President-elect. On the line, Ewan James, Marlon Hill, and David Mullings. David, the last time you were here, you said it would be a Kamala Harris victory and that the women would bring it home for her. She has not won. What's your reaction to what's coming out of the United States with this big news?
Well, I remember the last time when I was on, I did also talk about the fact that when the Trump campaign back against Hillary in 2016 talked about the way to manipulate polling, where they said, don't tell people you plan to vote for Trump. Mm-hmm. That would help to reduce the data that Democrats would then use to plan their campaigning. So I think it has proved right that they did exactly the same thing. Trump has turned out not just his base, but he's actually gotten more of rural America to show up and vote for him, which could be surprising to some of us that there are people who really side with that kind of rhetoric. But it's exactly what I said. If she loses, it's because we have people who said they're not voting for him who actually are voting for him quietly.
Mm-hmm. Marlon Hill, what's your reaction to the big news coming out of the U.S.?
My reaction is that she did an extraordinary job in 4 months to kind of get close to the margins that she needed. I believe that living in these United States now for almost 40 years, you kind of learn that democracy is really a mirror in a particular moment in time. Former President Barack Obama was able to move the margins at that particular moment in 2008, 16 years ago. Vice President Harris did not have the benefit of a 2.5-year primary in order to sort out connecting to those voters, especially in the rural areas of many of these states that we talked about. And America is still 60% white, in a racial context and construct. It's an experiment that is continuously in motion. So we got very close. It's still disappointing. But democracy, I don't see anybody complaining about there being a fraudulent election. And just like 2020, that was a snapshot in time, and 2024 is another Polaroid.
Ewan, you were here yesterday. We have you back this morning. What went right for your candidate, Donald Trump, and went wrong for Kamala?
Simply that he articulated solutions to the issues that are important to Americans. This election was fought mainly on two issues, the economy, under which people are hurting, and the invasion of the border. And he spoke to that, and he promised to resolve those issues. Kamala Harris did not rise to the occasion. And it's simply what has happened. People are trying to inject race into this, inject some moral issues into this. No. It transcended all those things. In the last 2.5 years, prices have risen by an average of 20%. People are hurting. And Kamala Harris did not articulate a plan to deal with the problem. There's an open border over which people are flowing into the country, many of them dangerous people. It has been happening under the Biden administration. They took no responsibility for it. She articulated no plan to resolve it. Trump did, and that is why he won. As simple as that.
Marlon, want to get a response to you to what Ewan was just saying, the criticism of why Kamala wasn't able to get to that 270 before Donald Trump did.
Well, Sir James and I are not going to agree on the racial construct of America, and we can leave that for another Sunday dinner discussion. I think Vice President Harris was very clear on her opportunity agenda and where she wants to take and address issues with regards to the economy. Sir James and I will probably agree on the fact that the debate of the insecurities or the securities of America has to be placed in the context of the history of America and the people of America. See, this is the reason why you can't run away from who people are and what they feel their securities and insecurities are in the context of policies and ideas. This is what the democracy of America in particular is all about. We will see the discussion of this as Congress wields its power in enacting these policies and ideas that Sir James said that he articulated. I didn't really see much of that. I heard more about the insecurities of America in terms of former President Trump speaking to that. And we will see in another 2 years, the democratic cycle will come around in 2 years when Congress has to account for enacting these ideas that Sir James said that he articulated so well.
Marlon Hill, the Americans love their freedom, well, as much as anybody else in any country that is free, and they love their way of life. The Democrats sought to tell voters ahead of Tuesday that, look, if you put this man in for a second stint, he will effectively mash up the country. That message didn't carry.
Yeah, obviously that message didn't resonate in terms of the democratic process. But then again, listen, the office of the presidency has to do with the person who is in it. If the president is who's now returned to office he's going to have to realize the responsibility of that. Whether there's going to be checks and balances with the Supreme Court, with the Congress that he has, with power becomes extreme responsibility. But also with power comes extreme accountability as well. So we'll see how it goes.
Ewan, on the same point, the fact that voters had a 4-year period of Trump to reflect on and to cross-reference what they were told that a second Trump presidency would do against what Trump actually did in his first stint. Do you think that consideration helped to counterbalance the narrative that Trump is out to destroy America as it is?
Of course it did. Of course it did. He was there for 4 years. He did not do any of the things that people are saying he will do. Now, we know Trump sometimes can be irresponsible in his rhetoric, bombastic, and it can even be explosive. But most of the things that he says them spontaneously, and he does not do them. The man was there for 4 years. They were not 4 perfect years. They were 4 good years. And people contrasted what people are saying and, the scaremongering going on as against what obtained for 4 years, and they did not believe that. And they also put that in light of Kamala Harris's economic plan, which, as I said, was not properly articulated. For example, just one example, she said she's going to stop price gouging. Now, how much price gouging takes place in America? I think less than 1% of businesses in America engage in price gouging. And when it appears, it's usually at times of disaster like hurricanes and things like those. But what about the over 90% of ordinary businesses like retailers who make like a 3% profit? These people are not price gouging. What about the vast majority of the people who are going to the grocery stores and seeing prices rising every week? She did not detail a plan to deal with that largely because of undoing Donald Trump's plan to make America energy independent. The cost of energy, which is tied to everything, has risen tremendously, taking with it the cost of everything else. And this is why people are hurting, and this is what they voted for. It wasn't so much about the person of Donald Trump, it's what they believe that he can do for them.
David, there was concern during the campaign that even as Kamala Harris had no doubt the bones needed to enter a presidential contest with confidence that she could take it home, there was lacking in the campaign enough of an articulation to people who were saying that we're not doing well, notwithstanding the jobs numbers. I mean, the most recent number for the election was disappointing, but notwithstanding those numbers or the good economic indicators, people were saying that I'm not doing well, I am struggling, and there was this feeling that she had not done enough to speak to those people who were feeling that way. Again, that may have contributed significantly to why we're talking about her defeat this morning, David.
No, well, anytime that the economy is on the ballot, you're going to have to talk about the economy as contributing to a defeat. That, I don't think, is actually the biggest reason why she lost, though. Let's be honest. She has been very clear, and Joe Biden, and the media has been very clear about the performance of the U.S. economy.
No, but it's not that, David. No, it's not that. I'm saying her comments, her articulation about how to make people feel in line with the economic indicators, I'm saying, even before the final votes on Tuesday, people were saying that maybe the job in that area was not as strong as was needed to convince people that you can do as well as we say the economy is doing. That's the point I'm putting to you, yeah.
I'm saying the same thing as you, I say, if you lose and the economy is on the ballot, we're going to say that. The point is there's not much more she can do other than showing you, here are the actual numbers, inflation is down, here's the jobs, here's our economy, here's the stock market. You're pointing to every single indicator. And it's showing that we are better off. It doesn't matter if people see numbers, you know what they're going to say, because we have it in Jamaica right now.
Numbers can't eat.
Have a party, they have a party that keeps saying, hey, but our economy is great, our debt to GDP ratio is the lowest, our jobs are the best in history, the lowest unemployment since 1961. What is happening? People are still saying, but me not feel it.
Yes.
So as long as individuals, if you can't speak to the individual who feels, you're going to have a problem. The Democratic Party did not run on the economy because they felt it was fine, and they've never been good at communicating that part. What they focused on was, hey, you're a woman, you were worse off under Donald Trump, and that's a fact. You need to make sure you vote for us, otherwise you're going to continue to be worse off. And they counted on these women, especially white women, to come and vote.
Yep.
They were counting on Latino voters to come out and say, this guy thinks you're a rapist, thinks that you're all evil, and thinks actually some of you come from a floating island of garbage. If you don't want that kind of person to be in charge, you need to vote for us. And some of them didn't care.
Yeah.
So that simply talks about know your audience, and then go and market to them. Facts do not matter anymore when it comes to elections. Right? Just facts.
Say that again, David.
Matter.
Say that again.
Facts do not matter in elections. Feelings matter. How you make someone feel matters. The Democratic Party, think about it. I worked for Hillary Clinton's campaign in Miami-Dade County. We won Miami-Dade County by some almost 30 points, 29 points. Donald Trump won Miami-Dade yesterday by 11 points. Miami-Dade County. That is Hispanic voters. Mm-hmm. That is an indictment on the Democratic Party, because you are supposed to be the party that looks out for minorities and other people. What is it that is not connecting with those people? And that is where the soul searching is going to have to come.
Yeah. Marlon Hill, as we wrap the next 4 years, what are you expecting from this 47th president?
What am I expecting from him? I'm expecting for him to utilize the power that he has won with the Congress that he has in his hands. And it's going to be up to us, the people of America, to be the fourth estate of civil society, to be the checks and balances, to make sure that our securities and our needs are met in a way that keeps us in consideration.
Well, Marlon, hold on, Marlon. Let me put it another way then. Do you expect him to do the things that Democrats told voters he would do if he was elected, or do you expect a normal presidency under Trump's leadership, is the question?
Well, he said day one, mass deportations. We will see whether or not that's a bombastic or a truthful statement in terms of carrying out that power. So day one is coming on January 21st.
Yeah. Yeah, you win. What should we strap ourselves in for next 4 years?
Donald Trump delivering on the things he has promised to do for the people, not on what he has been accused of doing. He's going to be a divisive person. He's going to be one to alienate his enemies. No, he's going to deliver on the sober, practical policies that he has outlined. That's what we expected the 4 years he was there, and which he largely delivered on, and this is what I expect in these coming 4 years.
Yeah. Lastly, David, people are saying, well, Elon Musk in position of influence directly with the government, Joe Rogan, all of these people who supported the Trump presidency, are these fears unfounded?
No, I was a part of the Hillary Clinton campaign. We told you what's going to happen. We told you about Roe v. Wade. We told you about the danger to the Supreme Court for a generation, and we were right. We warned you about the Muslim ban. We were right. We were not running around like chicken little skies falling. So Donald Trump has said mass deportations, more than 20 million immigrants he's going after. He will. He has 2 years, not 4. We're going to have a midterm election again, so there might be checks and balances. We will see 2 Supreme Court justices retire while Donald Trump is in office in the first 2 years, and he will put younger people in place who will change the Supreme Court even further to the right for another generation. So this is 30 years or more. Let's just be clear about that. He's going to put tariffs on everything coming into the United States, which will raise the cost of living, the cost of goods for all of us here, hurts exports from countries like Jamaica. He will reduce foreign aid. It is also going to harm the money the diaspora sends back to Jamaica because we're not going to have as much because cost of living goes up. So let's just be clear about what he has said. We will also now have to worry about what happens with Ukraine and Russia. Israel and Gaza is only going to get worse. And of course, China now is emboldened to now invade Taiwan. So those are the things that are going to come in the first 2 years. Because he said this.
Yeah, I can see you and James shaking his head and disagreeing with you, David. Anyway, thank you this morning, gentlemen. All the very best.
All the best. Thank you for having us.
Have a good day, gentlemen.
Marlon Hill, David Mullings, you and James. I love the perspectives. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
Let Scotia Investments guide you towards a winning portfolio that will grow your wealth for generations to come. Call 888-429-5745 to learn more. The time by Scotia Investments is
8:04.
Success, powered by learning. The Temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
26 degrees Celsius in both Kingston and Montego Bay.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Wednesday morning, the renal unit at the Mandeville Regional Hospital has received a donation of $200,000 from Gulfview Hotel. The donation is expected to enhance the quality of care for kidney patients at the hospital. General Manager of the hotel, Peter Campbell, presented the funds to the hospital CEO, Alwyn Miller. Campbell says the donation raised from the hotel's Leo Virgo birthday party in August demonstrates the hotel's commitment to community health and well-being. He says it is one way Gulfview can make a meaningful impact in its community. Mr. Miller, meanwhile, says the donation will go a long way in helping to improve the hospital's services to better care for patients. He highlights the importance of private sector partnerships in healthcare and says the hospital is hopeful that the move will inspire other businesses in central Jamaica to support healthcare initiatives. The unit serves patients suffering from kidney-related illnesses. It offers dialysis and nephrology services to a growing number of residents in the central Jamaica region, which encompasses the parishes of Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. Scores of residents from communities across St. James received free health checks at the Kiwanis Club of Montego Bay's annual Diabetes Health Fair. The event, held in Sam Sharp Square on November 2, was in observance of Diabetes Awareness Month. In addition to tests for diabetes, blood pressure, blood glucose, cholesterol, HIV, and conditions of the heart and eyes, this year's staging featured chair messages, counseling, and fitness sessions. The event was sponsored by the Western Regional Health Authority, Be Well Consultants LLC, National Health Fund, and the Culture, Health, Arts, Sports and Education Chase Fund. Acting Regional Dietitian at WRHA Ashigay Thompson says that the team emphasized that for diabetics, there's no bad food. It's the way that the food is prepared and how much is consumed that has a negative impact. For her part, Chief Officer at Be Well Consultants, Dorothy Brown, says as food prices and diabetes cases continue to rise globally, it is important for people to take care of their health. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning. And we now bring you the latest from across the Caribbean News Desk for today, Wednesday, November 6, 2024.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Kendall Morgan.
And I'm Dennis Chabrol with the latest from across the Caribbean.
The Antigua and Barbuda police are looking at regional and international assistance for their investigations into the killing of sitting member of Parliament Asset Michael, whose body was found in a pool of blood at his home Tuesday morning. Police Commissioner Atlee Rodney.
There are some injuries on the body, which now opens up a homicide investigation as to the circumstances that led to those injuries. We do not know what happened, but we are going to use all the resources that we have locally, regionally, and internationally. I will be speaking to my regional partners, I'll be speaking to my international partners, and whatever resources that we need, we will use everything to address such a serious crime.
The 54-year-old Michael won his seat in the last election as an independent. Prior to this, he was a long-standing member of the ruling Antigua Labour Party until just after his detention at Heathrow Airport in London in 2017, when he was accused of requesting bribes from a British investor.
And Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown says he's deeply shocked and saddened at the passing of Michael, referring to a period of strained relations, including the formal end of Michael's association with the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Mr. Brown said they reconnected earlier this year and he welcomed him as a friend and colleague. The Prime Minister said they shared several occasions together in recent months, including the opening of the new Barbuda airport. He said Mr. Michael's most recent visit to his office was just last week, when they discussed a number of issues with a shared commitment to the betterment of Antigua and Barbuda. Despite their differences, the Prime Minister said he regarded Asset Michael as a brother. Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party Chairman Everly Chet Green says his party will honour Michael's contributions to the country in due course.
Tropical storm Raphael is expected to strengthen into a hurricane as it heads towards Cuba today. The storm brought sustained heavy rains and strong winds to parts of Jamaica yesterday, and the authorities reported that some roads were blocked or flooded. The Jamaica Public Service Company JPS also reported power outages in several communities affected by the storm. Residents of the Cayman Islands were bracing for some impact as Raphael was due to pass near the islands overnight. Forecasters say Raphael, which has been pushing maximum sustained winds at near 60 miles per hour, is expected to undergo further strengthening before it makes landfall in Cuba.
Trinidad and Tobago's Finance Minister Colm Imbert says government will insist that foreign oil, gas and petrochemical companies pay their taxes in foreign exchange. This as companies and individuals continue to grapple with a severe shortage of foreign exchange in the Twin Island nation.
It stands to reason that all taxes paid by energy companies that do not sell their products locally, all of these energy sector, petrochemical companies, for example, and so on, they earn their income in US dollars. So it only stands to reason that they should pay their taxes in US dollars. And this has not been happening. And it's been a very well-kept secret, and therefore I will be talking to them over the next couple of months to encourage them to pay their taxes in US dollars, because if they do, it boosts the reserves, obviously.
Guyana's umbrella private sector commission is calling for specific anti-corruption legislation, but already the government has poured cold water on the idea. Chairman of the PSC's Economics and Finance Committee, Ramesh Duku, floated the idea at a government-organized workshop on collaborating with the private sector in Guyana's fight against corruption. He says this will end the current fragmented and vague laws that require massive collaboration among several agencies to bring corruption charges against persons and organizations.
We need to take all of these pieces of legislation and have an anti-corruption legislation in Guyana, which makes it easy for the police, for the regulators, and everybody else to take you to court and be successful. The penalties also has to be harsh so that we wouldn't even want to risk it.
But Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Kilty Shearer, who organized the anti-corruption workshop, says there is no urgency for one anti-corruption law.
That may come later. I think it has to do with capacities. If you have a big bureaucracy and you can have everybody under one roof doing whatever, then you go to maybe a one-stop shop kind of anti-corruption body. But I don't think we have the capacity right now, and that the multiplicity of reporting, it's a lot of work, and therefore we have to build systems and to develop capacity.
She says the international community recognizes that Guyana's constitution and laws cover corruption. Mr. Shearer concedes that enforcement is weak. Well, this has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
This is a public service announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Kingston Wharves Limited wishes to inform its customers and the general public that delivery services at all facilities will resume this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024 at 8 o'clock. Vessel services remain operational 24/7. Kingston Wharves team members are requested to report for their regular duties. We encourage all team members and customers to exercise caution while traveling, as conditions may still be affected by the recent passage of tropical storm Raphael. That has been an important announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited.
Want to start investing in real estate with as little as $25,000? Then the JMMB Optimum Capital Real Estate Fund may fit your future best with tax-free advantages and returns above inflation. Visit jm.jmmb.com to get started today. Conditions apply.
Drive Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.99% interest rate. Yes! Shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 4.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 4.99%. Conditions apply.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot body? You wanna Bugatti? You wanna Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work. Now get to work. Ring it on, ring it loud. Don't stop now, just be the champion. Work it hard like it's your profession. Watch out now, 'cause here it comes. Here comes the smasher. Here comes the master. Here comes the big beat. Big beat to blast ya. No time to quit now. Just time to get it now. Pick up what I'm putting down. Pick up what I'm putting down.
It's that time of a Wednesday morning. It's time for Fit Nation. In Fit Nation this morning, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is celebrating 20 years with the hosting of the 3K Run Walk on November 17 at Hope Gardens. The Run Walk is being held in commemoration of World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has the mandate to provide care and protection for children at risk or otherwise deemed to be in need of care and protection. For more, we're being joined by Public Relations and Communications Manager at the CPFSA, Kristen Leng. Good morning to you, Kristen.
Good morning, Tana. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I am doing well on this rainy morning, but I am doing well. Good morning to your listeners as well.
Yes, and I hope that you stay dry, Kristen. So, we're talking about the 3K run walk, but on the bigger front as well, the CPFSA is celebrating 20 years. If you could, Kristen, talk to us about what are some of the significant achievements of the CPFSA over the last 2 decades.
Wow. So the CPFSA has, as you've just said, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. 2 decades it has been. And what a great 2 decades they have been. We were started as the Child Development Agency, and now we're the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. So we would have received a name change in the past couple of years, and we would have joined with the OCR, which is now the National Children's Registry under the CPFSA. Some of our achievements, of course, would have been, ensuring that our children who come into care, they are protected, they are cared for, they're receiving the best care that they can as possibly provided by us. We would have had campaigns reaching out to the public, to the nation, telling them about how to protect their children, to prevent child abuse. One major one would be our 211 campaign, which is very popular, amongst school children. We go into schools and teach children about 211, how to report child abuse. We would have reached out into the communities directly, done community walkthroughs. We would have established our child and family support unit, that's CFSU, which is a unit that helps to prevent children from coming into care, seeing the issues that they are facing, whether it be the beginnings of child abuse or, the beginning of neglect, working with families to ensure that they are prevented from coming into care as best as possible. And we would have also established our therapeutic center in which we provide therapeutic services for children in state care and to some children who are not in state care but would have been filtered, again, through our CFSU program. So to prevent them from coming into care, we're able to provide them with therapeutic services as well. So, we've been doing a lot to protect and care for our children.
Yes, and the run walk, as I was telling our listeners, is being held in commemoration of World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse. Why is the World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse so significant, and how does the CPFSA observe it each year?
So it is a significant day because, child abuse is an epidemic. If not, we can call it a pandemic, right?
Yes.
It's something that affects children across the world. And it's important that we stop and we highlight this day. We look at, the children who have suffered through abuse, who have died, at the hands of abuse, and we try to prevent it, prevent future abuses from happening. So it's a way for us to pull attention to this issue and to ask parents, adults, persons who don't have children, every child is your child. See a child and know that they need care and protection and do your best to protect them and care for them. Report child abuse when you see it's happening. So when you see it happening, rather. So, it is a very important day. And it's something that we commemorate each year. Last year and the year before, we would have had child-led marches across the island, 4 regional marches each year. And we'd have had children, marching with their placards in town capitals across the island, just denouncing child abuse, pulling attention to it. We'd have also had church services where we bring our church community, our church family into this call. And in other previous instances, we would have had candlelight vigils and other marches, just to bring attention and awareness to the fact that child abuse is still a major issue and something that we as Jamaicans can put a stop to if we put our collective effort behind it.
So you just told us, Kristen, how it was observed in previous installations. For this year, any other activity that the CPFSA will be taking on to observe the day?
So this is our major activity for this year. We will be having information put out on traditional and social media, being shared as we commemorate the day. But this is our major activity that we want all of the attention, all of the eyes across the island focused on this activity, our 3K Run Walk at Hope Gardens.
And let's zoom in on it. If you could tell us again the date that it's happening, the time, and how persons can participate.
Sure. So it will be on November 17th, Sunday, November 17th. So not quite on the day of the World Day of Prevention of Child Abuse, but 2 days before on the Sunday at 6:30 a.m. And it will be at Hope Botanical Gardens at the Shell Bandstand. That's where we'll start and that's where we'll end. Our 3K race is child-friendly. Right? So we want parents to bring their children out, schools to bring children out. The entire race will happen on the grounds of Hope Garden. So there's no worry, about having to deal with cars on the road or traffic or that kind of thing. The entire race will happen on the grounds of Hope Gardens. And we have invited schools, a lot of schools from Kingston, St. Catherine, St. Thomas to come out and to participate. And we're inviting parents to bring their children, older students, anybody who wants to stand up, take a stand and say that I am denouncing child abuse and I would like to participate in this activity.
And there's a fee. I believe there's a fee. And where do they go to pay and get their resources that they might need? I don't know if you guys are giving out T-shirts, that sort of thing.
Okay, so we do have a fee. The cost is $2,000 for adults, $1,000 for children. We do have a school special going on in which schools can come, 10 children and 1 teacher accompanying them for free. Right, so any school in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, or if you're in Clarendon and you feel like, you'll be able to make it for the 6:30, just reach out to us, to the CPFSA. But persons can register for the race, whether as groups or as individuals, on our website, childprotection.gov.jm, and that's childprotection.gov.jm. Information is also being shared on our social media pages, so persons who want more information can go to our social media pages, and that is at CPFSAJM on Facebook, Instagram, and X, so they can get more information. So that's our registration fee, $2,000 and $1,000 for children.
And what's the deadline to register, Kristen?
The deadline for registration is Thursday, November 14th. That's the deadline for registration. So we have shared the registration link. We've sent it out. As I said, you can find it on our website. But the deadline for registration is Thursday, November 14th. We will have our bid collection on the 15th and the 16th of November.
And just before we let you go, Kristen, besides the race, are there any other public ways that Jamaicans listening or others can support the CPFSA's mission to protect children?
Yes, so one of the most important ways that Jamaicans can support the CPFSA's mission to protect children is to say something if you see something, as it relates to child abuse, as it relates to neglect, as it relates to child endangerment. If you see something, say something. Make a child abuse report to 211. Share with your friends and families. Let them know that if you see something happening, this isn't right, this child needs to be protected, this is what we should be doing. It is important that we try to change our culture as it relates to child abuse, as it relates to violence against children, and it takes each person to do their part. So that's the best thing that the public can do, which is to make a child abuse report. If you see something, say something.
Kristen Lang, who is the Public Relations and Communications Manager at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, talking about the agency's 3K run walk as they celebrate 20 years and also in observance commemoration of World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse. Kristen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you as well.
All right, this has been it for the Fit Nation segment. Going to take a break and come back with more.
You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
Crisp and refreshing. Room temperature or chilled, a pure water would drink. The time by Pure Water is
8:26.
You
Guilty. Outperform, outlast. Guilty. With top performance. Guilty. Easy jackhammer. Guilty. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy leg tools, free parts and free repairs. Free parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61124. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
This is a public service announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Kingston Wharves Limited wishes to inform its customers and the general public that delivery services at all facilities will resume this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024. Well, it has now resumed. It was due to resume at 8 o'clock. Vessel services remain operational 24/7. Kingston Wharves team members are requested to report for their regular duties. We encourage all team members and customers to exercise caution while traveling, as conditions may still be affected by the recent passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. This has been an announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited.
Shop and win a mega kitchen from Megamart. Spend $6,000 or more before GCT at any Megamart location and fill out the entry form provided for a chance to win a brand new stove, fridge, and microwave this Christmas from Appliance Traders Limited. Visit us on social media to win monthly prizes courtesy of Lasco, Grace Foods, and Facey Commodity Company Limited. Promotion runs from September 30 to December 6th. Shop now to win a mega kitchen from Megamart. The best value by far. Conditions apply. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Jack is online. Good morning. And just by the way, before we go to the lines, all of our lines are now working. My producer is telling me. So 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374. All of those lines are working. Of course, 618-8255 never left us. Good morning, Jack.
Morning.
Turn on the radio in the background for me, Jack.
What I call to talk to you about is the inclement weather and the road condition here in Pepper, St. Elizabeth, Nation Road. The road is into a deplorable state and we have 2 burst pipe on it. Mm-hmm. And with not only the burst pipe, but they have not done any work on the road for over 3 years. Mm-hmm. And the road is almost impossible for motor vehicles. And walking condition, if you don't have on a water boat, you can't walk there.
Yeah.
I've reported this broken main to the Water Commission on more than 3 occasions. And I've been on the radio and every program trying to see what kind of assistance we and Nation Road can get. So can you just possibly call the Water Commission?
We have done that several times for you. My producer is just telling me that she has done so for you specifically. And what we can do is to call the authorities for you to make the reports on your behalf, and we've done that.
And but I'm not getting no redress.
Well, we're gonna have to do it again then. But I've been reliably informed that we've done it already, so we'll do it. We don't mind doing it again for you.
Please do, because just yesterday I called them the day before yesterday, and they told me they're gonna put it on the authorities' deck, whoever I spoke to, and it is a shame for months now. The water is running on the road. We have a small stream down the bottom of the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And water is life.
Yes, indeed. We're going to report it again for you, all right?
Okay, then.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Faithful, morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir, morning.
Oh, yeah, good. Yeah. By the way, is the quiz still on?
Quiz are going to them, man. I'm glad you asked the question. The quiz is on today. Tana has been studying from last night, studying this morning. Yeah, man. The quiz are going to them, man.
All right, but you're meeting, you know. Let me first congratulations to Trump.
Okay.
For winning the election.
Mm-hmm.
I want Kamala win, but I bet all of my friends and brethren that Trump was going to win.
Yes.
I think Ricardo and Sanjay won me a thing, but I don't know if they're going to give it to me. Someday. What I find very scary, I think the Supreme Court is in favor of Trump, based on their ruling and all these things. The Congress, the Senate, and the White House. Do you consider how dangerous that is in a federal government?
Yeah.
Mark and I still believe, I still believe as a court that we get the king or the prime minister that we deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we believe in democracy, what they vote for, we just got to live by that.
Yeah.
Yes, even though I believe that, but I'm here consider from last night to have the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And to have the Congress and the Senate and the White House.
Yeah.
And as one of your guests said this morning, chance that Trump would have put two more person. And
that's what he could do, but what if he doesn't do it?
No, it's like, well, I use the word could,
Yeah, that's what I said. So could.
But if he don't do it, is it 60 already? So.
Yes, but I'm saying to you that we suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality.
No, but it's not imagination.
It's
reality.
What? No. It's imagination that he will make the appointments that you're saying. Yes. And it's imagination. It's imagination that the negative consequences of all of the things being in his favor will be exploited. It's an imagination. It's not happened yet.
No, but are you doing what he could do?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that we always spend energy talking about what could happen, and and it causes us to suffer in our imagination. Is the point I'm making. Faithful, you could very well be right.
Let me say.
You could very well be right, but you could be wrong.
Yeah, I just I used the could, and I didn't say I could do.
Yeah.
Let me say congratulations to Kamala. I think she give it the best she got.
Yes.
I think she give it to her, but I think they fell down. Trump, when he ran the first time, he said he was going to run for one term. His main purpose was to defeat Trump. That Biden. His main purpose was to defeat Trump, and he was going to do one term and give it up. And he stayed too long at the wicket and didn't give it up. So he left. He just handed over to Kamala. So Kamala was not vetted, and they did not prove the best person on the Democratic side.
Yeah.
Because in my mind,
this
guy from Pennsylvania, Shapiro is his name?
Shapiro, yeah.
I think he will be a far better candidate.
Yeah, well, you're saying that no this morning because Kamala lost.
No, man, I'm not saying that because he lost.
Yes, because before you weren't saying that she was not.
No, I wasn't. I was.
No, but what I'm saying that after the fact she lose, there are 63 million reasons why she should not have gone or she should have done this right. She lost. Maybe look, I'm saying to you, faithful. The Americans went to the polls yesterday in a democratic process, and they picked who they want, and it wasn't a close victory as the polls indicated. It was decisive. I think we should live with that.
But Judge, who argued that nobody's not going to live with that?
No. But what? Imagining what could have been different about the race and presupposing and maybe this should have changed is not you living with it contentedly.
No, man. But I'm not arguing that. We have to live with guy. I believe in democracy. I believe in the will of the person. Will of the people.
Yes.
So whosoever the people choose, that we will have to live with.
Yes.
I accept that unreservedly.
Yes.
No doubt in my mind, that's what I accept.
Yes.
And I'm willing to work with anybody who the people selected.
Yes.
In Jamaica, whether it's Andrew, whether PNP or JP, whosoever the people, it's like, that's who I go with. Mark, I have my preference who I want to win.
Yes.
And I will do everything to ensure that people I want to win.
Yes.
But if they don't win, whosoever come, that's the person I work with. If I don't do that, I will go against my belief to say I don't believe in democracy.
I got you, my friend. Got you. Thank you this morning, Faithful, as always.
Blessed.
Yes, man. Carl, good morning.
Morning, Mark George.
Wait, go on, my friend. Long time in here, man. Everything good?
You're going to pop down all line then for one.
Hey, line, fix now, man. We're good to go.
Tana, Don't make George invite you to in market and have in a whole of it. If you come on the road, you will buy it. There will be a market.
Why so?
Never make George invite you to in market. Then have them there.
A good market here through what pan call.
No. Election day in Jamaica today.
Today a nomination day.
Right. And we have 2 by-elections and 2 local government ones, 2 MP and 2 local ones.
Yes.
The 2 local ones will be the excited one.
Yes.
And a lot of both bar and restaurant and taxi people will make a lot of money out of those. Those are happy days. Very happy days. When some people are content. But what the hell come a day after election morning to local government election morning?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell in Jamaica?
Mm-hmm.
There will be a lot of parking at 89 Old Hope Road.
Why?
That's all me I left with you, no further.
You mean, so hold on, let me straighten out what you're saying now. You're saying that on the morning of November 23, weeping and wailing?
There will be a lot of dogs barking at 89 Old Hope Road.
On November 23?
On November 23, that is Saturday morning.
Why?
It's Saturday before conference.
Why?
Okay. Tell us something, Master.
Yes.
If you not think and your wholeness is done, what a come?
How in and town stay? Tell me about that.
In and town, that kind of free yard. Me not even bother turn out to work. That's where we will be today.
Yes, you're pinned down, as the former PNP Gensec Paul Burke said.
Yeah, man, he can't talk. You rubbish when you used to talk about.
No, you can't demand that. Paul Burke is a good honorable man.
Rubbish when you used to talk
No,
about.
no rubbish.
And but, I heard Golding up in Manchester.
Yes.
To be very honest here, what I called you about this man, I think the USA need to investigate the mayor up in Manchester and the farmer, one farm sentence.
Hold on, no, Carl, Lord have mercy. Listen, man, take your time, because why would they invite investigate Donovan Mitchell for what?
Yes, man. Then if a man can tell you,
yes,
that he must rob, have a problem. If you take away every cent to a judge, every work all in life and in left university, he doesn't have a problem. And you know what happened in America.
No, there's a nuance to it, Carl. That's not what he said. He says he doesn't have a problem with unexplained wealth. You are breaking it down now to pinpoint something. No, but that's not the only way to come about unexplained. Listen, the sentiment you're speaking about is correct, but I want you to quote Mr. Mitchell correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's not what he said.
All right. Mr. Mitchell said him not have a problem
with unexplained wealth.
Unexplained wealth. So
yes.
Thief in charge for me have wealth is no problem to Mr. Mitchell. And the same thing you mean?
Well, you know what? You take from it what you mean, but you have to care for what you say on the radio.
All right. Mr. Judge, before you run, I want to put you no problem.
Please.
All right. Mr. Judge, did you know that comrade Daniel Archer?
No, Carl, no.
Archer.
No. She is the principal director of the National Integrity Action. I don't know her as a comrade, and I know her as an attorney at law.
All right.
So you know bother with that?
Did you know that she was a secretary for a minister before?
So what?
Check it.
No, but I'm saying, so what? So what if she was?
All right. My judge, something. If you sometimes when you see summer week,
yes.
Summer week put on with green shirt, like all me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere me go, it's turned up to me party.
Yeah.
Freed.
Yes.
Nobody.
But question for you, Carl. Question for you.
Yeah.
Was she acting in that capacity? If indeed she was she acting in that capacity when she was associated with the NIA?
Judge.
Answer the question.
Judge.
Answer the question.
No, Judge.
Exactly. So what's the point?
Judge,
what's the point of raising it?
Judge, you see a lot of these people, Judge.
Yeah.
And try to be the head of certain things.
Yes.
They try to tear down the Jamaica Labour Party.
Well, it's a certain people, so I have nothing to say because you don't call nobody name that I do.
Right.
But I'm just saying to you.
And me tell you something, George. You
Yeah.
see them, you see how they operate, George?
Yes.
And doesn't operate when they don't know where to say. People know that them is a labor right and them is a comrade.
Yeah.
But you see, when you check out some of them record, like Sunday, I was in Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody called me one side and said to me, you know, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, yes, I him take a post, man. The 70s, that's the word that I use. He said, yes, I him take the post for the 70s. And the person said to me, oh, did you know, say, she was a very...
Listen, Carl, I can't go there and day and nah, and whoever. Listen, all I say to you is this. You take care of Ain and Town and you do what you have to do for your party. The PNP will do the same and we can see who will go win November 22.
There will be a happy moment for the bar people in St. Thomas and down in Ain and Town here. And money will make.
You're calling Morant Bay for the labor rights as well?
Mas George.
Yes.
Saturday morning. There's a lot of dogs will be barking at 89 all over.
All right, sir. All right.
Darrell Bars, Annie Wife, and James Robertson.
Yes. I hear you, sir. I hear you, sir.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you this morning, Carl. What I want to give you problems there. We don't have them more live. That's it? Trying to do all of them? You can crack it one more time?
I think I have one more.
Okay. All right.
This is a public service announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited. Kingston Wharves Limited wishes to inform its customers and the general public that delivery services at all facilities will resume this morning, Wednesday, November 6, 2024 at 8 o'clock. Vessel services remain operational 24/7. Kingston Wharves team members are requested to report for their regular duties. We encourage all team members and customers to exercise caution while traveling, as conditions may still be affected by the recent passage of Tropical Storm Raphael. This has been an announcement from Kingston Wharves Limited.
When Sagicor Bank thinks of a woman, here's what we see. We see business leaders managing sole trader businesses to large corporations. We see university graduates as our women uplift themselves academically. We see more home owners, ambitious women working hard to build their own legacy. We see leadership at home, with women proudly providing for and taking care of their families. We see entrepreneurs, Jamaican women playing a leading role in our economic growth. At Sagicor Bank, we see the invaluable contribution of women in the home, communities, businesses, and development of our country. That's why we're in their corner, supporting Jamaica's women as they strive to achieve their dreams.
Drive Hyundai. Hyundai vehicles beyond your dreams with an exclusive 4.99% interest rate. Yes! Shop Hyundai vehicles and get a super low 4.99% interest rate on your car loan. Plus 2 years free service, 1 year insurance, and 5 years warranty. Offer valid on all 2024 Hyundai vehicles. Drive your Hyundai with the lowest interest, 4.99%. Conditions apply.
Make a plan to stay on top of your mortgage. Stick to it. Pay on time. The time by the NHD is
8:45.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Popeye's Wings. Try the 6-piece combo today for only $1,395. Wing the alarm!
As I walked on by, in all awesome wonder. You had to know why I did not respond to carry on. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me now. 'Cause I'm special. Not the average kind who'll accept any line that sounds good. So reach into your chain of thought. Try to find something new. 'Cause what worked so well for you before, for me it just won't. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me now. So reach into your chain of thought. Try to find something new. What worked so well for you before, for me it just won't do. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Just love me
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Over on Facebook, happy birthday greetings going out to Derville McLean, Julie Turner. There's somebody with my name. Oh my goodness. And it's spelled like mine.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Tana Murray.
Oh, yes.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, my namesake, Tana Murray. Hope you have a really, really amazing day. Big up yourself, Tana. Happy birthday as well to Davis King. Happy birthday to Janelle Anderson, and that should be Racina Davis King. Happy birthday, Janelle Anderson, Raquel Simpson Hibbert. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Tonette Williams and Claudette Willoughby. Happy birthday. Hope you guys have a really good one. Happy birthday greetings. PB sending happy birthday greetings to Sydney's son. Yeah, happy birthday to your son, Sydney. I did see your message earlier. You said, please send happy birthday greetings to my baby son, Jordan Romario Morris, who is celebrating his birthday today. Greetings coming from mom, wishing him a marvelous day. So happy birthday to you, Jordan. Checking to see if there are any other birthdays here in the YouTube chat. Stacy Peart sending happy birthday greetings to Joan Walker. It's your birthday, Joan. Happy birthday to you, coming from Stacy Peart over here on YouTube. Scrolling back up to see if there are any other birthdays. JD Pacology sending happy birthday greetings to JD. JD, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a good one as well. That seems to be all the birthdays. Oh, here comes another. Happy birthday greetings to, is this Clydia or Clydia Carrington, from her loving family and friends. Have a wonderful day. Oh, Claudia. I got the edited message now on WhatsApp. Claudia Carrington, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Greetings coming from your family and your friends. Have a wonderful day. Are those all the birthdays now? If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you.
You did Fitzroy Phillips from New York?
I did not.
Yeah, man. Judith Phillips says, please send happy birthday greetings to Fitzroy Phillips in New York. She didn't say the relation, but Judith Phillips sending happy birthday greetings to Fitzroy Phillips, who's in NY.
Yeah. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
And Hugh Donaldson says, please, you did that one? Happy birthday to my son, Tajay Donaldson. Hugh Donaldson sending happy birthday to his son, Tajay. All right? So, Tajay, Father Hugh says, happy birthday to you, my friend. May I send a happy birthday as well, King? To King. Can I send a happy birthday to Baltazar?
We will not be sending any happy birthday to Baltazar, okay? No. Take it back.
Oh my God! I have never seen something like that in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a family show. We can't talk about it.
We cannot, George Sylvester Davis. We cannot. Kirk Marsley, though, is sending belated birthday greetings to his baby sister Renee Marsley. Happy belated birthday greetings to you, Renee. Hope you had a good one. And Joy Powell is sending happy birthday to Jaden of Harborview. Happy birthday to you, Jaden. And Joy is saying that you're in lower 6 at Kingston College. So happy birthday to you. She's saying, may you live to see many more. Owen Lambert sending happy birthday greetings to his dear wife, Winsome Lambert. Happy birthday to you, Winsome, from your husband, Owen. Have a lovely day.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Popeye's Wings. Try the 6-piece combo today for only $1,395. Wing the alarm!
All my love is all I have,
and my dreams are very special.
all my life I look for you,
And today my dreams come true.
you need me and I need you,
Love and us is very special.
things you seem to do divine,
You look straight into my
I
eyes,
know our love is meant to be,
'cause our souls touch tenderly.
love is life and life is living, it's very special, in my heart there was you holding, love is life where dreams come true, and even though I can't have you, baby, desires like these are true for you. Hold my hand and take my life.
Through these days adventure rules.
Once my love was truly great.
Then my life was so together.
A change in life can bring good things.
When you're here, love so supreme.
Close to you, our lips should meet.
To remember days so sweet.
I need you and you need me.
Very special.
Our love is joyous, yeah, we can make it.
Tune.
In my heart.
Anyway, Marlene Hutchinson in the YouTube chat, Mr. King says, good morning, Mr. King. Please play us some Christmas carols. She said I'll get some. Him say I'll get some Christmas carols soon, my friend. Anyway, Max Romy and Clash Camp in the chat are the ones, Tona, who seem to know what we're talking about with the Balthazar reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirk Buchanan, morning, Kirk. Kirk is a man who is up on his social media. Kirk should know what go on this, you know. But certainly, Max Romy and Clash Cam, them know. Baltazar, oh my gosh.
Ibang. What a last name. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh my God. No. Listen. What about that? Are they other people like him? You wonder?
I'd like to think so.
I think we know a couple.
No, that George is your first made up story.
No. Listen, man, believe me. Let me tell you, I know a couple. I'm not asking nothing more. I'm not giving no clues. Yeah. Also, Shane Mark, I never knew you listen what this morning, Shane Mark. Because Shane Mark, I like when my company radio. Yesterday when I came into the chat to tell.
Shane is asking what's so funny. Head over to Twitter.
Yesterday, I was here with Cliff to tell Cliff that unfortunate news about Asset Michael in Antigua and Barbuda. As I'm still in the chair, Shane, in all caps. Then I went George down in the studio.
Oh dear. Good morning to you, Shane.
Make up yourself, Shane back, alright? Anyway, take us. What's Siobhan there? Siobhan come for the quiz. Everybody come for the quiz. Listeners, the quiz is this morning inside Cliff Hughes Online. Tana is very well prepared. Siobhan Campbell is very well prepared.
I am not.
Ricardo Brooks very well prepared. It shall be a fun morning. Ricardo will reach, man. Believe no, man. Believe no, my father. Believe, man. Brooks will reach, man. So Jermaine says Ricardo owes him 50 push-ups from their bet about Kamala Trump, and Jermaine says what he will do, because Ricardo is a nice guy, a good youth, he will do 47 of the push-ups, and all Ricardo has to do is 3. Yeah, all Ricardo Brooks has to do on video, do 3 push-ups out of the 50. Jermaine will spot your 47 and call it squits. The quiz starts at 11 a.m.
At
11 a.m. to midday inside Cliff Hughes Online. So tell your friends, nationwide quiz. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. 11 a.m. on This Day in Sports, November 6, 2024, starring Tana, Ricardo, Cliff, Chevron, Dana, Robian. All of those people are on it. Yeah? 11 a.m. And of course, you know, the quiz master is Pampadana. Man, I'm going to fix with butter, so you go. King, all of those people are just in the pool. No, you're ready to get crazy now. Know yourself, man. You're good, man. You go fun. Anyway, Tana, take us home.
That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. NTM. Thank you so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, and our super editor back in her chair, Kimone Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Tyron Reed, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana Thomas.
And my name is George.
Good morning.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
All my love is all I have.
And my dreams are very special.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Jamaica is one of 175 nations that are signatory to a global plastic treaty aimed at ending plastic pollution by 2040. As a signatory, Jamaica remains committed to ensuring compliance with this treaty, which seeks to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from plastic production, use, and disposal. On today's feature, we highlight Jamaica's continued work towards ending plastic pollution. Stay tuned.